As more and more of these unidentified flying objects were being reported and talked about in the public...
Sorry about that. Okay, my bad. I was trying to do something here. And all those windows popped up. Okay, there we go. Look at that. That's what we want right there, isn't it? Okay, let's enable the chat. Audio should be good. Speakers are... Everything's been repositioned since the last show. I cleaned the... this is a broadcast. It's a podcast studio. It's a podcast studio, right? And
Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Hi from Orlando, Florida.
Hi, Linda from Orlando. I'm also in Orlando, Florida. How are you? Let me get my volumes under control here. Great.
Linda. I met you at Lifted Warehouse.
You did?
Gerthakian.
You met me at
Cheers,
Lifted
Nick.
Warehouse? How are you? Well, I gotta tell you, everybody that I
Linda.
met at Lifted was amazing.
I was the director of operations.
You were? Are you not anymore?
Gerthakian. Rip it up.
I'm looking at your sideways picture. Hi, Linda.
Gerthakian.
I remember you.
Sip it IP.
I remember you. Gerthakian. What's up, Gerthakian? Rip it up,
Up
sip it up.
asterisk.
Sip it up, rip it up. You're hilarious.
Jeff Lund.
Jeff, bro.
Cheers. Linda.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Ha ha ha, you got a haircut.
Yeah, and I've been working out, too. What do you think? You like that? See that?
Gerthakian.
Cut my hair, working out. Single. Currently single. So there I am. And I'm in Orlando. Hello. So, and I'm a cannabis guru. So let's get on the cannabis. I got my Lifted.
Linda. I see the positive changes.
Thank you, Linda. You see this?
Vermont Brett Smith. Hi, Nate.
Like my
Linda.
bong? I got this from you guys. I got this from, well, your partner, I should say, but I got it from, you guys are all affiliated. Well, you were.
The
I don't know if you're
freaking
still with
Oracle.
them. But
Afternoon.
I can't tell you, Linda, how happy I am to see you here. You have no idea how happy I am to see you in my live stream. I am so glad that you came in here. Hey, freaking Oracle, Vermont Bread, Jeff Lund, what's up, everybody? I got that cherry pie. I did a lot of work today, man. I had to go work on the sprinklers. There's this area in my front yard.
Carol Potts
Hey,
Kinder.
Carol.
Young.
There's this part in my front yard where the grass was dying, and I had to go out there and readjust the sprinklers. And I was out there for a good hour working on the sprinklers, man. I was halfway done and they shut off. I had to go turn the timer back on again. I was like, unbelievable. Went and I turned them back on. I made them so they'll go on for an hour until I change it to try to get more water in this area until it grows back, because it got really bad. The grass all died in this area. But I realized what was going on. There was low pressure on that system, and it needs to either be cleaned out or worked on or whatever. And you just kind of prime through it. You can step on a sprinkler, and it pumps water through the system and kind of cleans out all the sprinkler heads and stuff. The pop-ups, I can explain that to you. It sounds weird what I just told you, but they're cylinder, right? They pop out of the ground and they turn and they shoot water everywhere. Those kind of sprinklers, they're like a perfect cylinder. I was barefoot, right? And when you're barefoot, you could do it because you could feel the sprinkler. You put your foot on. You don't want to do this with a shoe because you could break the sprinkler. But you do it with a bare foot or your hand, and you can press the sprinkler back down in the ground while they're on. Now, if you do it wrong, you'll end up getting sprayed water all over you. You got to cover it up with your hand to keep the water from spraying up. But that cleans up the whole sprinkler head and the area around there. And if you do this, if you push it down, while the sprinklers are on, it'll force water through all the other sprinkler heads at different pressures. So a little trick that I figured out today. And I got the sprinklers all lined up, and I readjusted. I was out there with my little sprinkler key, and I got it all working, and everything looks great. You guys want to start this off with a nice bong rip? Maybe a little bong rip here. What do you guys say? You down? Are you down? Maybe I can fix this. Something says Thunderfoot. We're on the Rumble. Let's refresh the Rumble. Okay, great. And now let's see what if we do this. Okay, that's not going to work. So that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Fire in the hole.
Just about. Let me just get rid of this one thing here. Remove and add source. I'm going to put the number of people that are watching up. Yes.
The food is here.
Okay.
It's coming in.
Okay, grab it, please. Will you get that? It's at the door. We ordered Red Lobster for the seafood lover and you. And it's here. I'm not eating dinner right now. But I got some shrimp and stuff, salad, and it'll be great when I finally do eat. But I'm drinking coffee. I'm doing a show. Have some grapes.
Dave C. Fishing. Bongs loaded.
Okay, everybody. No law regarding cannabis. Cheers to all of you. And,
Okay, it's here.
all right, I'll eat later.
Yeah, I'm not going to eat now either.
Okay, sounds good. My mom's not eating now either. That food got here early. Anyway. I want to say thank you to everybody that comes into the show. A, Dave C. Fishing, and Girthakian, new person, and Linda. Hello, Linda. All of you that are here, I get excited when a local person comes to watch my show. That's awesome. So, thank you, Linda, and thanks to the rest of you. Cheers. Let's do what we do. And then we'll talk, and we'll do some things. And I'll give you some content for you to sink your teeth into. Cheers, guys. Oh, that cherry pie is a really nice high, man. You not coming in? Are you coming in or not? How much time do you give him before you
Seymour Cannabis.
Seymour!
At Nace Garden, cheers, nay, all day smoking big bongs, cheers.
Randy, I haven't seen you in forever. Boy. So, how's the warehouse going over there? You guys still kicking ass? Or did you say you used to work there? What are you doing now? The rest of you, crypto's down right now, taking a dip. Harmony is down to 2 cents. I love saying that. That's so fun to say. And there was a lot going on with discrimination in the world and fascism. There's a lot going on with that. It's snowballing, and there's very little that any of us can do to stop it. I'm afraid that what's going to end up happening is people are just going to be forced out of their homes onto the streets to go protest. You're not going to have a choice. And that's where we will all be seeing each other, out on the streets, burning this thing down, because we're being silenced one group at a time. And, when the right group decides to stick up and stand up for the groups that have been silenced, all hell's going to break loose. So what I'd like to see, what I suggest is, when I see African American podcasters, or I see Jewish podcasters, or I see independent podcasters, or I see right-wing podcasters, they don't like to call themselves right-wingers. They like to call themselves libertarians or independent progressives that lean right, but they lean way right. Any of those people. I would love to see all of them defending the LGBTQ community, the trans community, particularly of the state of Florida, but other states as well. I would like to see those people, the ones with the platforms, the ones with the voices, the ones with the followings, speaking out for the trans community now, right now. It might make you uncomfortable. You might not know someone who is trans. You might not understand it. But this is what you need to understand, okay? What you need to understand is trans people are marginalized, okay? They're a group of people that's being discriminated against. They're a small group of people that's being discriminated against. And soon, more groups of people will be added to that group, okay? That means more people will be discriminated against on different levels and for different reasons, and eventually it will come in and affect your life personally. But the thing is to go out there and fight this before it affects you personally. In fact, the trans community right now is probably kicking themselves in their wherever you kick yourselves. You kick yourself somewhere. Because they're thinking, we had an opportunity and we failed. Let's just start. Who was marginalized first? Who was the first group to be marginalized on YouTube? To be singled out and said, hey, you know what? We're not tolerating your rhetoric anymore, and now we're going to kick you off of YouTube. Do you guys remember who it was? I know what you're thinking. It wasn't the cannabis community.
Josh G.
Do you guys remember who
Hey,
the
Pal
first
C.
marginalized group was on YouTube to get singled out by YouTube and said, hey, we're not going to allow this kind of speech on our platform anymore. And if you're saying it, you got to go. You guys remember? Anyone? This is a long time ago. We're talking 13 years ago on YouTube. Well, some of your favorite podcasters, man, some of your favorite content creators, and you couldn't see them anymore. What was it? What was the content? Come on, guys. You don't remember? You guys are all just waiting, right? It was guys who were into firearms. Guns. Yeah. You weren't allowed to show guns anymore. You couldn't fire them. You could instruct about, how to fix something on them or something, but you couldn't show them being used. There was a time when they were going after everybody. Do you guys remember this?
Seymour Cannabis. That was long time ago.
Do you guys remember this? And they went after the firearm.
Dave C. Fishing.
Dave C. remembers.
Yes.
They went after the firearms enthusiasts on YouTube, and the trans community said nothing. The Jews said nothing. The African Americans
DHC fishing.
said nothing.
Like 2015-ish.
You know, right-wingers were complaining about it.
Chris Valentine.
Independents said
13
nothing.
years ago.
Democrats said nothing.
Okay, feel ya.
You guys were okay
Still could
because they
and
were
can hear.
guns, and you don't like
Do remember that.
guns.
Josh G. Crazy Russian Hacker was a show I loved, and he had to switch his entire content pro-Russian to gadgets instead of guns.
Right. Right. So, before they went after the cannabis community, they went after guns. And then who was it after the guns? You guys remember? It wasn't cannabis. No, they found somebody else to go after. It was another group of people to marginalize and go after on YouTube. Just a private company exercising their rights under the laws provided to them by the United States of America. As a corporation, they can basically do whatever they want. And who did they go after next? It wasn't the cannabis community.
Chris
They
Valentine.
went after the guns.
They went after everyone over
No,
everything.
Chris. There was an order, see, and when you gloss over it, Chris, you miss the message. The message is we all need to be speaking out as the trans community is being ostracized now. That's the message, Chris. It's not they went after everyone, because they didn't go after everyone. This is piecemeal. This is incremental. This is a little bit at a time so that you don't realize it's going on. This is a frog sitting in warm water. And it ain't boiling yet. Are you with me, Chris? This journey is important. Who is the next marginalized group? This is an easy one. It wasn't the cannabis community. We were still smoking strong. But it was something that people watched, and a lot of people watched, and they were basically driven out to start their own social
G.
media platforms.
Religious community.
No, religions are not. Hell no. No, religious. You can see anything religious on YouTube that you want. Think about it, Josh. Think about it. What went away after the guns went away? Something else went away. It's tough, right? I know exactly. I'll just go ahead and tell you guys, since you're waiting for the answer. It was the fucking right-wing community at large, dude. It was white nationalists. And a lot of white nationalists are
Josh G.
hardcore right-wingers.
I think I'm thinking too hard, haha.
White nationalists,
Let me
bro.
fire up the brain.
It was white nationalists.
South Kanye.
It was white
Enjoy
white
the
nationalists.
cannabis community and your live feed on this Sunday afternoon.
No more militias.
Appreciate you all.
No more white nationalists. No more severe hardcore right-wingers. Salty Cracker, gone. Who else did they get? I'm not going to remember his name. Gone. Had to go. He has to delete every single one of his videos on YouTube that he puts up now. I can't remember the guy's name. He's a hardcore right-winger. I can't think of his name. H.A. Goodman, man. He got persecuted. There's more.
Seymour Cannabis. 100% right, trendy, NAY right wing.
Right? So we got the guns, then we
Chris
went after the
Valentine.
right-wingers, and then who did we go after?
I did, and I see what you're saying.
And then what disappeared
No
off
need to
YouTube
downsize,
next?
please.
And then what no
Totally
longer were you able to see
understandable.
on YouTube, and it was
Just
gone.
listening. Your options and points matter. Just listening.
Hell yeah, Chris. You see what I'm saying? So, look, it goes on. And there's a long list, right? And groups of people were just waiting to be marginalized by YouTube. You know? It was just like, when's it going to be us? Because they're going after everybody. And I could go on, and I'm not going to. Okay? It's fun, but
Chris
I'm not going
Valentine.
to. We'll talk about it
Yes, sir.
another day. My point is this. They're going after, right now, it seems like everything political in the United States, especially from the right wing, is, hey, no offense to all of my Republican friends out there, but right now, all the right wing seems to be doing is going after trans community. Okay? It's this vicious attack on the trans community. And I know what a lot of people would bargain through that and try to say, well, it's parts about the trans community, blah, blah, blah. I know it's parts, you know, it starts out like that. They get the parts, then they get the whole community. It starts out with one community, then they move on to parts of the next community, then it's boom, the next community.
Dave C. Fishing.
Right.
Gabe.
That's what you guys need to see, and that's all you need to realize. It's not complicated,
Josh G.
and it doesn't require me to sit here and
Who will the next up be after attacking
hold your attention
trans?
for another hour
Makes
to tell
you
you a
wonder
story
if we're at the
like
end of the
like
hate
Rachel
train
Maddow
and we're
does.
running out of oops to hate.
I've already made my point.
Wake TF up, people, and show love.
I've already made my point. You know? And if Josh G was listening to me, he would have heard it, but he was busy typing a whole paragraph. But that's my whole point. This is what's happening to the trans community right now. Right now, I don't care if you're anti-trans or not. This is about you. And this is about your ability to express yourself. Like I said, I don't care if you're anti-trans community or not. We have to lock arms, and we have to stop this now. And that's everybody. That's
Killer GB
that's
420.
Christians.
There is still some gun channels on YouTube. Demolition Ranch, Brandon Herrera, Kentucky Ballistics, Donut Operator, Grand Thumb EXT.
Yeah, and once again, it's somebody else that's not listening to a word I'm fucking saying. Typing a whole paragraph and not listening to me. Whatever, Killer GB. I wish I had a much larger audience with more people who would make sense in here. But
Doe Edits. You alright, man?
thank you, Doe Edits. I
Killer
appreciate
GB
you, bro.
420. But I do AEE with you.
Well, you're not fucking paying attention, Killer GB. Who fucking cares how many other gun channels there are? That's not my fucking point, you
Chris
fucking
Valentine.
idiot. It's not my fucking
It
point
is
at
not
all.
parts.
If you would
It's
fucking
sad
shut
and
up and listen,
disrespectful on their
Killer
community
GB, every
against
once
them.
in a while, you'd actually
Nobody
fucking
should
learn
have to
something.
be put in a category on which they feel attacked or threatened.
It's not parts, it's sad, it's just on their community against them. Nobody should have to be put in a category in which they feel attacked. It's not parts. No, I don't know what you mean by that. Hey, you should use this more often, you know.
South Kanye. They'll check
Yeah,
back
you
in.
should call me
Got to
fucking
go back
anytime,
out to edge of property line. Some asshole decided to dump a load of trash on my property.
Uh-huh. Hey, Neil. She'll do the glass, bro. She'll be able to wrap all that glass. Dude, did you take the cabinets off? Dude, wait. You were able to open the cabinet with the two locks on it? I love you. Oh my God, I'm so glad you figured that out. I was like, I've got to tell them how to get into that fucking cabinet. He's already wrapped all my glass up, everybody. That is so awesome, bro. Thank you, Mark. Okay, you know what, man? If you guys are cool, you gotta take that thing to a mechanic. Just take the Cadillac into a mechanic and make sure it's good, and it's good to go. I can even tell you who my mechanic is, and I'll pay for it. You know, it's in Lakeport. Right. Uh-huh. I mean, there's just a couple of things, really. It's mostly all in the master bedroom. Nice. Uh-huh. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Lily could handle that for sure. I'm so excited, bro. Yeah, you want to come out with Dino? Fuck, that's kind of risky, isn't it, bro? I mean, you think it'd make it? What year is that thing? It says he's got a '69 vet, and he says it's the most reliable car he's ever owned. That is fucking awesome, bro. He says he wants to drive it out here. That would be such an uncomfortable ride. Oh my god. Yeah, well, it would have 50,000 by the time you got it back. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. It's up on its side. Oh, I got you. That's crazy. That's perfect. It is. It's perfect. But how heavy is that thing, bro? Well, I don't know about no problem. I mean, you got to take the glass. You're gonna have to take the glass doors off, and then if the doors came off, there'd be enough room to get that thing through there. Okay. Fucking A crazy. Awesome. Yeah, right, right. Yeah. But call me anytime, Mark. I'm so glad you called. Okay, take care, brother. All right, bye. Wow, wow, dude. They did way more than I expected. They're kicking ass. They're like, dude, we want to come out. Fuck yeah, come out. It's not parts. I didn't understand that when you said it's not parts. Chris, I didn't understand what you meant when you said it's not parts. Back at the edge of the property line, some asshole decided to dump a load of trash on my property. Have a good day. South Conyer, come back. Don't leave. We hashtag pick it up all day. Hashtag keep it open with your phone, bro. What's up with that 43,197.70? That looks really familiar. Yeah, there we go. 43,334.60. That's what I'm talking about, pal. That's $200 in your pocket. Value. Boom. I'm talking about smoking cannabis. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting all my guns. I'm talking about what, son? What, son? What? Oh, man. Not these, man. These. Yeah. Getting it all. Getting my freaking guitars, my basses. Oh. Forget about it. We got big plans, folks. We got big plans. All right, so anyway, how much does a pool table cost, man? Okay, Google. What's a nice pool table cost these days?
These pictures should match.
Face doesn't match. I got your fucking face match right here, man. I got your freaking face. How much do pool tables cost? Price from $1,200 to $2,000, while full state. Does it say full state or full slate? Cost anywhere from $2,000 to $3,500. On the higher end, they can run upwards of $10,000. I wonder if you get like an appraiser to come out and look at your pool table and tell you what it's worth. I need a pool table appraiser, man. I'm thinking, we got room in it. And we got room in this room for it. We could put a pool table right here.
The Ballantine Collection.
Hey, Billy.
Happy birthday.
Billy, I went down. Let me show you that piece of wood. I went down in the in that creek and I got that piece of wood I told you. Look at these, Billy. I went down in there to get this because I saw this one sitting there, right? What do you think of that? I was like, man, I bet you Billy would dig that one. I found that one, and then look, when I was down there, I found this one too, man. I thought this one was pretty cool. They still have water in them. They still have to dry out some, but they have to be set out in the sun. I sun bleach them for a few days, and they lose a lot of weight. They get nice and lightweight. But they have sand on them. I'm going to take them back outside. I'm going to put them back out in the sun.
The Ballantine Collection. Oh, very nice. Would make a eat formal upright pine. Miyagi style.
Formal upright pine, Miyagi style. Cool. Bro, I'm always going to be thinking about you, man, because I love what you're doing. So, I'll be sending more stuff out as I collect it. Yeah, I got him sitting baking on a black mat right now outside, direct sunlight. Just total freaking searing the water out of them. I've got an air compressor to blow the sand off, Use the garden hose, very light spray. The garden hose has these settings on it. One of them is this really light spray when it's even at full blast.
The Ballantine
Collection. Hold it really close and get all the sand out.
I'm pitching for investors already. Startup is crazy low for this.
Oh, really? I don't know what the I look like I have a little golden crown on my head. Hey everybody, today's dress up day with Nay. How are you doing? I've got my crown on. What accessories have you put on today? I love having high hair because it adds to the humor of everything. So that's the top of the hour alarm, alert, buzzer, bell, if you will. And it's time to smoky time. That makes no sense at all, but I like to say it like that, exactly like that sometimes. So, no law regarding cannabis, and I also like to say this. Thanks to all of you for taking time out of whatever it is you're doing to come and be in this show. I appreciate you guys so much.
I put bows on my socks.
Cheers, guys.
Nobody's gonna know.
I should have told Linda while she was here. Linda, are you still here? I broke that Gifted Lifted while I was cleaning it one day. No, I broke it right here. That's right. Something fell on it. The wall fell down or something. I broke my Gifted Lifted. Linda's not here anymore. Linda's no longer here. We're Linda-less. I'm sad. I'm sad. We're Linda-less. We've lost our Linda. One of China's most popular shopping apps can bypass users' cell phone security to monitor activities on other apps, check notifications,
The Ballantine
and private
Collection.
messages, experts say.
I don't smile at many people anymore, so I fixed that by wearing 2 pairs of pants or filling my pockets with ketchup. It makes me smile that nobody knows I have motor pockets.
That's fun. So, are we all excited, man? Today is Sunday. This is April 2023. This is the month that Donald Trump has to go get his mugshot taken. I just think that's really cool. You know, it's fun. It's about time that he feels like what it's like to be one of us. You know, be like a normal person. You have to go to jail, get your mugshot taken. Had it done several times. Fucking sucks. You know? Nobody really wants to go through that, but a lot of people have. And it just feels good knowing that a president has to go do that. Now you know what it's going to be like to have no freedom. You're going to have no freedom for a few hours. You're going to go in there and they're going to process you. And that's exactly what's going to happen to Donald Trump. And he's going to want to make a media spectacle out of it. And I guarantee you that the chief of police over there and the person who's in charge of that precinct is going to be there on top of that shit saying, we're not allowing any press in. We're going to move Trump through just like any other person. And when we're done, he can go. And when he's done and he bails out, you know, or whatever it is he has to do, he can go outside and do his press conference outside in public, just like everybody else. Do not look forward to any photos or video or any
The Ballantine
insight
Collection.
as to what goes on inside that police station.
Have you ever seen Freaks? Remember what happens when they accepted the detective as one of them?
No, I didn't see that. So I'm missing something here. We're going to be deprived of our show. I don't like seeing Ethereum down so low. 1788.
The
man.
Ballantine
You're
Collection.
looking to purchase Ethereum.
They removed his limbs. Gobble gobble, one of us.
Now he's one of us. He woke up and he's like, oh man, I can't scratch my toe. That's okay, you don't have a toe either. Hey, it solves that problem.
Well, we didn't get our French fries.
We didn't order any. We did not order French fries. You said You said you wanted a baked potato. What? No baked potato, no french fries? That's fucked up, dude. Done. Yeah, I got something to add. You fucking idiots. Where do I add it?
Manually 85.
Hey, man, Willie.
How's yous doings, Nana?
I'm doing good, man. What's wrong, Mom? Oh, shit. They fucked the order way up. Let me see. Let me see. No baked potatoes, right? That's my shrimp, and that shrimp scampi inside there. There is a baked potato. No, Mom, that's your baked potato. Grab that baked potato.
Manually 85. Bastards.
Wow. Okay, this one looks good. Yes. Why did you put the regular salad in the refrigerator? Let me see this. Complaining about not a Caesar, it's two Caesars, and you should have got a house. And that's it should have been a house salad. This is Caesar, but this has got cheese. Yours has no cheese. One salad, no cheese. It's not supposed to. This one's got cheese too.
Manually 85. How could they the orders up?
Wow, man. Wow, man, Red Lobster just totally fucked our order really bad, dude. They put rotten lettuce in my mom's salad and a couple salads. She's picking rotten. I mean, the lettuce is bad. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. I'm calling the fucking restaurant. Okay, Google. Call Red Lobster, Altamont Springs.
Calling Red Lobster.
Manually 85. They you in the drive-thru.
Hey, fuck you at the drive-thru. They're gonna fuck you. Hi, we just got an order from you. We Ubered it, and I just wanted to let you know you're putting bad lettuce in the salads. We got 2 salads, and they've got like rotten lettuce in them. That's okay. Sure, sure. Okay. Chickadee, check that lettuce. What's up? Don't forget us. You're gonna get some lettuce and then you're gonna forget us. What are you gonna do? You're gonna regret us. That's what you're gonna do. What? You gave us bad lettuce. You said you're gonna forget us. Now you're gonna regret us. Oh! Hello? 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 They hung up on me. Wow. Wow. That ain't even happening, dude. That ain't even fucking happening. Dude, I'm trying to be cool, bro. I'm trying to be cool, bro. Wow. Hi, someone just hung up on me. I was holding for the manager. Someone hung up on me. Hold on. I was holding for the manager. Somebody. Yeah, I was holding for the manager. Somebody hung up on me.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me transfer it.
All right, thanks. They're like, yeah, there's no rotten lettuce here. We gave it all to you. We're cool. Hey, fuck you at the drive-thru. They drive that fish out so fast now it's like Hooters for Cheddar Bay biscuits. Drive that fish out so fast. Hooters. I don't know. I haven't been to a Red Lobster in forever.
Thank you for holding. This is Megan. How can I help you?
Hi, we just got an Uber delivery in, and the lettuce is, some of the lettuce has gone bad, and I thought maybe you should check back there and just make sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, but thank you for offering. I just thought maybe you'd want to know it was the Caesar salad lettuce.
All of it.
All of it. It's, my mom is not happy.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely. I understand. Thank
Okay.
you for letting me know.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. Just go check your lettuce. Because we're nice about it. We don't want other people's nights to be ruined with rotten lettuce, you know? So go fix your shit. That's cool. I don't mind taking a minute so that other people's lives will be better today, you know? Just take me a minute to call. She offered new salads and shit. I'm like, no, we're not calling to get free shit, you know? We just think, you know, you go back there and check your lettuce and just make sure you don't forget us or you're gonna regret us. What? Oh! Boom! I wrote that tonight. I wrote it tonight. I'm very excited about it. I've been watching you guys. I don't think you're going all the way down. Get them fucking guns, son. That's what I'm saying. We gotta do some dabs, son. We gotta get them dabs, son. We gotta show them abs, son. What? Abs! What are we gonna do? We're not gonna do dabs, are we? We ain't doing shit. We're gonna drink coffee and eat grapes. I was trying to get you guys all pumped up and nobody gave a fuck, so. Whatever. You guys cannot leave me chats on Rumble unless you're following the channel, so make sure you follow so you can actually chat with me over there. So far, 0 chats on Rumble with 6 viewers. It doesn't really make sense, but okay. No comments from anyone out there, huh? 17 people watching and no one has anything to say. What is up, folks? Really? I can go eat dinner with my family and just live my life. You guys won't even talk to me, huh? Okay, I'll ask you again. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hey, man, any of you guys in the chat gonna talk to me at all? Are any of you people in the chat going to talk to me? Hey, Goldmine Brand, what's up? Yo, how are you? What's going on? You're over there on Facebook? Are you just going to say yo, or are you going to say it's going good, or... There we go. Yo, Enoch. Oh, there you are. I haven't seen you in forever, bro. I think I figured it out. The bonsai walk. I'll build a set of tables that go on forever. Playing some COD. I like the bonsai walk, bro. And with your Beazle. Playing some COD with your Beazle. Sherb cake. Down on the road and make some things happen. Well, then you make me want to dab. I just want you guys to interact with me. I mean, when I ask you if you're listening, I just, wonder if anybody can just answer back, really. If the numbers say there's 21 people watching, I don't think I'm asking much to have somebody answer back and go, I'm listening, I'm here, whatever. That's all. YouTube took away the ability to look at somebody's videos from oldest to newest. Go ahead, try to do it. Go to your favorite YouTubers' videos that you wanted to see their very first video because they've been around for a long time. So you went to their videos and you went to the organizational thing and you clicked on, you saw it said newest to oldest, and you're like, I'll go oldest to newest and go see their first upload. Right? That makes it easy, right? Go see if you can do that. Come back and report in. Or just trust me when I tell you I can't do it. I don't think anybody else can do it. And I think YouTube took it away. And I don't know when they took it away. But I think it's a bad idea. And I think if you think it's a bad idea, you could come on my Twitter and you could like the tweets that I'm sending to YouTube telling them to bring that back. Because it's a basic feature. And it should just be there. And everyone should have access to that. It's just a basic feature. You should be able to see somebody's first upload immediately just to see where they came from. See what they're about. See where they started. It's so stupid that you can't do that anymore. But maybe I'm the only person that ever wanted to see someone's first video quickly, and the rest of you don't mind scrolling through 50 pages of fucking videos, to get to the first one. And then if you want to go watch the second one in order, well, too bad, you already clicked on this page. So now you got to go back and go through all those 50 fucking pages again. To get to the second upload they ever did, right?
The Ballantine Collection. I can't do it either. But I bet it was to subvert old videos from getting reported. Only sense I can make of it.
It just makes things worse for everybody, man. They're
Cindernex.
They're doing horrible.
They changed it to that latest, popular,
right,
and now top keywords.
Yes, Cindernex, yes. Thank you, Cindernex, whoever you are, thank you, yes. That's what they did. They changed it to latest and most popular. It's like, so it's such a horrible decision where you could have just added that. You could have added popular. You could have added that. You have to take away oldest to newest.
They did it about a year ago.
It's been a year? Did anybody do it, try to get them to change it back?
Cindernex.
I wonder if there was a movement.
Enoch Emmanuel Torres. Cheers hashtag NLIC.
I probably tried to look at people's videos,
Cannabis
oldest to
for
newest, and
all.
couldn't do it, and I was like, that's weird, and I just, like, something must be glitch. And just went and just, forgot about it, and then did it again. I was like, that's weird. And then finally I start fucking catching on. I'm like, wait, I can't search fucking oldest to newest anymore. That's pretty important. Pretty. We're doing a dab, kiddies. Strap in.
The Ballantine Collection. They need to change the name from YouTube to These 10 Guys Too.
Right? Exactly. It ain't about us anymore. It's about them. Change it to ThemTube. Us, 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 us. And them, 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 them.
Cinder next. It won't come back, just like everyone tried to get them to reverse the thumbs down change and YouTube was like, just off already.
Yes, right. Who knows? Maybe they'll listen to us. If you make a big enough deal about it, if I get enough people to retweet that at YouTube, sometimes they respond. You can make a difference sometimes. For the thumbs up, thumbs down, that was stupid. They should have gone back to stars. 5 stars like before. Way back in the day.
Goldmine brand. Cheers.
My mom's like, Columbo, you know he's only got one eye. I'm like, yeah, Mom, everyone knows that. So funny. She's so cute. All right, are we ready here? Listen, I want to say thank all of you guys that come in here and watch this show. It means so much that you guys do this. Thank you. All of you for taking the time out to watch this. Whether it's for a minute or for the whole show, it should be for the whole show because it's a lot of fun. You never know what you're going to miss. Sometimes we say some whack shit at the very end of the show. You never know. Cheers, everybody. No law regarding cannabis.
The Ballantine Collection. Some people have never smoked a moth, and it shows.
It's so tasty. And it looks tasty too. Look at that. Tasty.
Cinder next. A moth.
A moth. Mothman prophecies, baby. Billy smoked a moth more than once. He's a moth smoker. He says they're crispy and taste like poison. I believe him. I take his word for stuff like that.
Goldmine brand. What's in your lungs, Nate?
This is
The Ballantine Collection.
enemy
I don't
extract.
give a crap. Emma smoke this Chex Mix right now.
It's really this Chex Mix now, baby. It's from Pinoy. That stuff right there is called Gary Newman. No, it's not Gary Newman. It's Gary. The basketball player. 25 cars, freight cars derail in Montana. 25 cars, man.
Goldmine Brand.
It's not making the front hit.
Gary Payton.
Gary Payton. Goldmine, thank you. Oh, they're in the river. And they're not telling you what they were hauling either. They look like they were hauling products or food. You can see one of the train cars spilled open and the contents went out into the river, for sure. But welcome to America and Pete Buttigieg's fucking, watch, because this is all going on under him as he lets it happen and does nothing about it. But he's got to raise a baby. We had to put somebody in there who had to raise a baby with his husband. That was important, to put someone in charge who was going to be all tied up raising a baby, because that was so important to him. Raise a baby. Fucking idiot. Do your goddamn job, bitch, or resign. You want to raise a baby? Go fucking resign. Get somebody who's not raising a baby to fucking take care of our goddamn transportation issues in this country, because you ain't doing fucking cunt slap, motherfucker. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. I'm just trying something new here, folks. Hashtag it. If Dekine Brew was here, he would totally hashtag that.
The Ballantine Collection. My wife screwed up and yelled Jude mate to an Austrian. I had to explain carefully to both of them.
Austrian instead of an Australian. G'day, mate. I didn't say I was Australian. Psh, unreal. Unreal. Dude, nobody cares about your bass song. Psh, the moon. How to make 500x in crypto. Shut up, you idiot. Nays Garden. Psh, I don't think so. Nays Garden. Psh, I ain't clicking on that. Psh, that's not the main channel. Nays Garden. Never fear the... Psh, whatever, palsy. All of you could click on your notifications to the main channel. That would be great. They'd probably send out more notifications. Psh. 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 Nobody cares about any of them notifications, palsy. What are you even doing? You're not doing that, that's for sure. You're not doing it. So I was going to have my friend Lily wrap up all my glass.
The Ballantine Collection.
All my glass.
I had to explain Austria to my wife, and I had to explain East Tennessee brains to the Austrian girl.
Dude, we've got another massive inverse head and shoulder pattern on a massive falling wedge pattern. So we could be seeing a reversal here soon, guys. This is pretty ugly. Don't be scared, kids. All right, don't be scared about what you're about to see here. What you are looking at
The Ballantine Collection.
she's still chilling watching Columbia.
How fast do cannabis clones take root?
7 to 14 days, Billy, depending on the strain. Some a little faster, some slower. But 7 to 14 days is the window. You'll see the first little tiny nubs coming out around 6 days. You'll see like little bumps at the bottom. And like on day 7, you'll see one little root go pink, little tiny hair coming out. It's exciting.
The Ballantine Collection. Whoa, that's fast.
Yeah, it's fast. Yes, it is indeed. This is doing us very little good like this. One. You know, but whatever, dude. We don't want to do this. Fuck this. Binance. Let's do... Binance US. Who else is doing Harmony 1 here? Here we go. There we go. Now we'll get some good readings on 1 here. That'll help us immensely. Great. So, let's see where we are on the... We still have another dip, guys, to finish the shoulder, but we're fine. If you're wondering what's going on, I'll tell you exactly. Okay, hold on. Okay. Shoulder head, shoulder head, shoulder head, shoulder head, shoulder head. So we expect another dip, and if that dip goes down this far, oh wait, I didn't do it right. I just said a whole bunch of shit and you guys didn't see it. Shoulder head, shoulder head, shoulder head, shoulder head, shoulder head. So we want to see basically another dip down about this far. We want to see this come down. Somewhere in between here and there is fine, and then return over here. We want to see it come down to here, right here, more or less. Here it's whatever. If it just keeps going down a little bit and goes up, it'll be fine. And same for Ethereum and Bitcoin. So expect another dip. Right now, like it's at 28, it might go back down to 27, 980, something like that. It might go down like that, and then it'll probably fire way up. And we've got this is a falling wedge pattern, right? You've got this here, you've got this line, you've got this line here. It's an opening wedge, getting bigger. Same thing here, falling wedge pattern, falling wedge pattern here, falling wedge pattern here. This is a classic falling wedge pattern here. Look at this one. That's like a perfect one. These will all, this and in conjunction with an inverse shoulder head shoulder pattern, will result in a spike upwards of the likes of which you have never seen before in your lives. So I think we're going to go up to 30. I think we're going to go way up. I'm going to call this right now. I called it once before. I don't know how close we got on the last one when I said it was going to go up. We got up to 29.1 the last time I said it was going to go up to 30. So maybe I should say 29.1 again. So it's going to go up. I'm assuming that the Bitcoin's going to go up $1,000 from where it is right now, after it goes down to possibly underneath 28,000, possibly to form that second shoulder. But that's just my layman's analysis. Could be right, could be wrong. We'll see soon enough, I think, though. It looks like within the next hour or two. And then it's Monday. Yeah, Asian markets opening Monday morning. And then our markets open tomorrow morning. The stock market opens tomorrow morning. We'll see what happens when the stock market opens. You guys want me to check and see where the stock market closed at? Whatever, dude. No, I don't have an authenticator, dude, for any of this. Idiots. I don't know where the stocks closed at, guys. I've lost access to all my stocks. They want me to use authenticator. It doesn't work anymore. I've just got thousands of dollars that I don't have access to anymore. Motherfuckers. Yeah, you just saw that happen. So, for some reason, my authenticator stopped working. And I've been unable to use it for different shit. And when you try to tell them, hey, it's not working anymore or whatever, they try to help you and you can never get it going again. And they just stop talking to you. No. No, I'm going to eat that. All right, hold on. Dude, am I... Yeah, okay, Cyber's not here. Alright, I want to eat dinner, man, so I'm gonna go eat my dinner. And you guys, how many of you are there here? Oh, Lady Microdose. I'll dab some live resin with you, Peyton. Lady Microdose, let me know if you're still in the chat on Rumble. You may have just saved the whole show. Lady Microdose, are you still in the chat on Rumble? She told me it was Gary Payton too. Lady Microdose, are you still in my chat? It doesn't look like it. So, there was somebody over there on Rumble talking. I get so excited. One person, One person actually talking over on Rumble. But, Yeah, man, my stomach just growled, so I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go eat. So, we could watch a video. You guys want me to pull up a video that we could all watch together? While I eat my dinner really fast. So my mom doesn't have to put it in the fridge. Let's see here. What would be good to watch? The Hidden Networks. No, not interested in that. 100 a day, no. Let's see what else. None of these videos look good. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Come on. Attack on crypto, what Biden's White House has to say. Okay.
Last week, the White House
We'll watch
released
this.
its economic report of the president for 2023. For the first time ever, the report contained a section about cryptocurrency, and, well, it wasn't good. The report made it clear that the Biden administration will continue cracking down on the crypto industry, and it seems to be intended as a rallying cry for US regulators to double down in their efforts to
Alright, I'm gonna go
end.
grab my dinner, guys.
Today, I'm going to summarize the crypto section of the economic report, explain what it says, and tell you what it could mean for the crypto market. This is a video you cannot afford to miss. The section of the economic report I'll be summarizing today is titled, quote, Digital
He used to do these really stupid disclaimers that said that, you know, this is not financial advice. And I messaged him on Twitter and I said, listen, dude, you don't have to do that anymore. You waste a lot of time with that. You waste my time too. Your audience doesn't need to see that because it's not a thing. And you lie to your audience and say that your lawyers tell you this and your lawyers tell you that. And we all know you're lying because no lawyer would tell you that you need to put a disclaimer on a YouTube video when you're not entering a contract with somebody to do business with them. You're not giving anybody financial advice through a contract. You're not going to be able to be sued for that. So he stopped doing it. Isn't that cool?
Assets, relearning economic principles. Now, in case you're wondering why we're not summarizing the whole report, well, it's over 500 pages long. You can find a link to the full report in the description if you insist on reading the whole thing. Good luck and God bless. Now, the crypto chapter of the report begins with a brief history of the Panic of 1907. This is when the original JP Morgan basically caused a bank run on one of his competitors, which ultimately caused the US banking system to collapse. JP Morgan bailed everyone out, and a few years later, the Federal Reserve was created. Now, obviously, the version of events the authors give is very different. They claim that the Panic of 1907 occurred because the banking system was too decentralized and unregulated. Naturally, the authors then claim that cryptocurrency is the same as the pre-Fed financial system, decentralized and unregulated. The authors acknowledge that decentralized custody and control of money are two of the benefits
All right, I'm
of
here, guys.
cryptocurrency, but then claim that cryptocurrency has not provided any other benefits whatsoever.
I'm just curious.
Rather, it has done damage to consumers, to the financial system, and, of course, to the environment.
Okay. You guys want to be able to see what I'm eating here? I'm eating Red Lobster. I got some fried shrimp. And I got some shrimp, garlic shrimp. I like shrimp scrampy. I got the garlic shrimp. I got the fried shrimp. I got the cocktail sauce for dipping. Oh, this is perfect, man. I got this piflau. We like to say piflau. I got lemon. Psh, unreal. Nobody's even talking about lemon anymore, baby. Nobody's even doing that anymore. So do you guys want to be able to see my food, or do you want me to go full screen while I eat with this guy? Let me know in the chat, please.
Now, if you watched our video about the effects of Bitcoin mining on the environment, you'll know that this is BS. Bitcoin mining uses just 0.05% of all global energy and accounts for just 0.08% of all global carbon emissions. This is a very small price to pay for a decentralized payment system and store of value. On that note, the authors claim that cryptocurrencies have, quote, no fundamental value and can only go up in price because of the way their economics are designed. What the authors fail to mention is that most cryptos would go up in price regardless of this, purely because fiat currencies are slowly losing value. Regardless, the authors then question what the role of regulators should be, given the supposed characteristics of cryptocurrency. They also seem to imply that blockchains built by private companies and governments could be beneficial, without mentioning that this setup eliminates decentralization. Now, the second section of the crypto chapter is titled, quote, The Perceived Appeal of Crypto Assets, which reveals how biased this section will be. The authors start by saying that the term cryptocurrency is a crypto industry term meant to give the impression that you're using an alternative payment system. They also say that stablecoin is a crypto industry term meant to give the impression that the coin or token in question will maintain a stable value. For context, almost all these government reports refer to cryptocurrency as crypto assets, which I refuse to do because it's incorrect for the most part. Anyways, what's funny is that the authors take one sentence to talk about NFTs, and all it says is that they aren't relevant to this crypto chapter. This is not surprising given that NFTs have been consistently omitted from most crypto regulations, probably because they're like fine art. In any case, the authors specify that the term crypto asset, that is, cryptocurrency, means every digital currency except digital currencies that are issued by central banks. They then present this Venn diagram, which is supposed to give the impression that central bank digital currencies are like crypto, but better. Now, if you watched our video comparing CBDCs to cryptocurrencies, you'll know this is extremely dishonest. In a CBDC system, the government can control how much you spend, what you can buy, and even how much you can save. In a crypto system, you alone have total control over your assets and your transactions. Newsflash, that is the definition of financial freedom, and it is very, very valuable. Now, the authors admit that crypto became popular during the pandemic and then claim that the crypto bear market was caused by crypto projects and companies going under. In reality, the crypto bear market was largely caused by interest rates going up, which then caused these crypto projects and companies to crash. The authors then go on to applaud the executive order about cryptocurrency signed by Biden last March. They reveal that various US regulators have since published 9 reports about cryptocurrency in accordance with that executive order. Note that we've covered a few of these on the channel. Oddly enough, the authors then suddenly pivot to talking about Bitcoin and acknowledge that it appears to have been created in response to the 2008 financial crisis. They explain how Bitcoin works and that it inspired the creation of tens of thousands of other cryptocurrencies with similar economic models. The authors then list 5 benefits that proponents claim cryptocurrencies have, according to the authors, that is. Now, the first claim is that cryptocurrencies are good investments. The authors highlight the fact that you can make quick returns in crypto compared to other asset classes and potentially hedge against inflation. The second claim is that cryptocurrency is an alternative to the traditional financial system. The authors highlight the fact that cryptocurrency transactions are censorship resistant, meaning they can't be stopped. They also highlight the fact that cryptocurrencies distribute fees among network participants. The third claim is that cryptocurrencies can be better payment systems than the ones we have. The authors highlight the fact that stablecoins could be used for instant 24/7 transactions. Unfortunately, they don't highlight the fact that some cryptocurrencies are faster than centralized payment systems. The fourth claim is that cryptocurrency can lead to more financial inclusion, or as every crypto project founder used to say, bank the unbanked. They highlight the fact that the self-custody of assets means that there's no bank to charge you fees, which is apparently why many Americans refuse to be banked. The fifth claim is that cryptocurrency can improve the financial infrastructure of the United States. The authors highlight the fact that all crypto transactions are publicly viewable and there's no need to trust network participants. They also highlight the potential for smart contracts to replace intermediaries. This ties into the third section of the crypto chapter, which is titled, quote, "The reality of crypto assets," as if it's the US government that determines what's real and what's not. The first reality is that cryptocurrencies are not good investments because they are too volatile due to having no actual value. The authors then scold Fidelity for allowing its clients to invest in BTC through their retirement plans. They claim that BTC isn't an inflation hedge because its value has come down while inflation has gone up. The authors fail to mention that BTC is a hedge against money creation, not supply-side price shocks. The second supposed reality is that cryptocurrency does not perform the functions of money. For those unfamiliar, the three functions of money are as a unit of account, a medium of exchange, and a store of value. The authors go on to detail why it is that crypto doesn't meet these criteria and why the US dollar is better. What they fail to mention is that even though cryptocurrency doesn't perform the function of money today, it doesn't mean that it won't tomorrow. Consider that El Salvador made BTC legal tender and that Iran is reportedly using BTC for cross-border trade. They are the first of many, many countries to come. Now, the third reality is that stablecoins can be subject to bank runs. In case you didn't know, most stablecoins in circulation are backed by US bonds, aka government debt, not actual US dollars. If the value of these US bonds goes down too much, stablecoin issuers may not be able to honour all withdrawals. As such, it's possible that a stablecoin could lose its peg if everyone rushes to redeem their stablecoins for USD. The authors claim that there is a precedent for this run risk with money market funds, which are analogous to stablecoins. Money market funds experienced runs in 2008 and in 2020. After trashing Terra's UST, the authors make a good point, and that's that most retail crypto holders in the USA can't redeem their stablecoins for USD. As such, it's possible that retail investors won't be able to sell their stablecoins, but this is unlikely as institutions will buy from them because they can redeem. This is essentially what happened when USDC depegged. You can learn more about what happened there using the link in the description. I digress. Now, the fourth so-called reality is that cryptocurrencies can be harmful to consumers and investors. The authors say this is because crypto companies and projects aren't compliant with existing regulations. They fail to mention that clear crypto regulation in the United States is lacking, and regulators are out for blood. They also take issue with the so-called vertical integration of products and services offered by cryptocurrency exchanges. In plain English, cryptocurrency exchanges play multiple roles all at once. This is illegal in the traditional financial system, and the authors claim that this results in FTX-type scenarios. They fail to mention that FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried was meeting regularly with US regulators and members of the Biden administration. Heck, he was one of the largest donors to the Biden campaign in 2020 and was planning on spending billions more. He was literally their guy. Anyhow, the fifth reality is that distributed ledger technologies like blockchain have had limited economic benefits. The authors invoke an expert who claims that blockchains are neither decentralized nor trustless, and even invoke criticisms by Signal founder Moxie Marlinspike, which is a bit scary. Note that Signal is a privacy-focused messaging app. Sounds like the Biden administration are fans. The authors also conceded that blockchain is appropriate for supply chain tracking and even gave a shout out to Helium, a crypto project building a peer-to-peer internet. This shout out wasn't all sunshine and rainbows though. They noted Alameda Research's investment in the project and its lack of usage. Funnily enough, the authors go on to talk about the risks of financial innovation and claim that the crypto market is just a big old bubble waiting to burst. They also explain that systemic financial crises are a great way of introducing stricter regulations, which is seriously concerning given the circumstances. That said, the authors believe that a systemic financial crisis hasn't occurred because of crypto. Yet. They say this is because the crypto industry isn't fully integrated with the traditional financial system. The authors call on US politicians to make sure strict regulations are rolled out before this happens. The authors then provide a laundry list of other risks associated with cryptocurrency, including leverage trading, price volatility, illicit financial activity, and ransomware. In other words, essentially the same risks that regular currencies have. There are only a few things worth noting from this section. The authors say that DeFi should be subject to the same regulations as banks. They say that banks should not be allowed to custody cryptocurrencies. They say that all crypto transactions should be connected to your personal identity. They also seem to claim that crypto is causing ransomware attacks. This all relates to the next section of the crypto chapter, which is titled, quote, Investing in the Nation's Digital Financial Infrastructure. The authors reiterate that crypto hasn't delivered on its promises, but the Fed is here to deliver with its FedNow payment system and eventually with its own digital dollar. Now, if you watched our video about the takedown of Signature Bank, you'll know it appears that US regulators have been explicitly targeting crypto companies and projects that were building payments networks which could become competitors to FedNow, which will be fully operational by July. The authors flaunt FedNow's ability to settle payments instantly 24/7 and calculate that it will save Americans $7 billion in banking fees that result from payment delays via other methods. They also reveal that the Fed has been working with banks to make FedNow interoperable with other methods. And not only that, but the authors reveal that FedNow, quote, addresses the issues that some have raised about the need for a CBDC, as per a Fed official. This is consistent with comments from the Bank for International Settlements, or BIS, which said fast payment systems like FedNow are analogous to CBDCs. Speaking of which, the final part of the crypto section is about CBDCs. The authors claim that a CBDC system consists of three things: the CBDC itself, the public and private sector entities that are involved in its issuance and transfer, and the laws and regulations which allow for such a CBDC system to operate. As some of you will know, there are two types of CBDCs. Wholesale CBDCs, which will be used by select individuals and institutions, and retail CBDCs, which will be used by us plebs. What's crazy is that the authors note there will be overlap between retail and wholesale functionality as per the US Treasury Department. This is crazy because the CBDC reports we've summarized on the channel have long suggested that wholesale CBDCs will be used by the elites and retail CBDCs will be used by everyone else. The comments from the US Treasury Department underscore the likelihood of this outcome. The authors also reveal that the upcoming digital dollar will not be based on any kind of blockchain technology. It will be completely and centrally controlled by the Fed. They go as far as to claim that the digital dollar will be permissionless to use, which is ridiculous and almost certainly false. Following a short discussion of the pros and cons of CBDCs, the authors applaud the Biden administration's CBDC policy objectives, which were published last September. And they conclude the crypto chapter by saying that crypto brings risks, whereas FedNow and CBDCs bring opportunities. They also claim that crypto does not require specific regulation and just needs
Depression,
to come
Neil,
into
depression,
compliance
Neil.
with agencies like the SEC.
You taking about
And finally,
Peter,
they
but
say,
plug,
quote,
yeah, he the worst.
parts of the crypto asset space require coordination by various agencies and deliberation about how to address the risks they pose. In other words, get to it. All of which brings me to the big question, and that's what all of this means for the crypto market. Well, the answer is
Rogan.
as clear as day. The current administration is not a
Here.
fan of cryptocurrency
Look.
whatsoever and wants to ensure
Here,
it
Rogan.
remains isolated from the traditional financial system. Hence, Operation Choke Point 2.
Come here.
If you watched our video about Operation
Come here.
Choke Point 2, you'll know that it consists of cutting off the crypto
Yes.
industry's access to the US banking system. You'll know that it's being orchestrated by Democrat politicians and could therefore last until after the next election, assuming, of course, a Republican victory in 2024. Given that the current administration sees the crypto industry as a competitor to payment systems like FedNow and CBDCs, it's safe to assume that the worst of the crypto crackdown will come before FedNow is rolled out in July. So far, it's been crypto companies and crypto banks. All that's left are crypto projects. Stablecoins are likely at the top of the hit list given that they are de facto digital dollars. It's possible that smart contract cryptocurrencies which support these stablecoins will be caught in the crossfire considering that they are de facto payment systems. Now, I can't say which ones because I don't know. For what it's worth, though, in the conclusion to the crypto chapter, the authors note that, quote, some crypto assets appear to be here to stay. This suggests that the US government is aware that it can't kill every single crypto project, and some will be allowed to live. BTC is the most likely to live given its size and admittedly
Now
volatile
I'm going to give him a
price.
whole shrimp.
For everything
Freak him out.
below Bitcoin, things become a bit more uncertain. Whether a crypto project can survive a regulatory crackdown ultimately depends on how decentralized it is. Even though cryptocurrencies like Ethereum are decentralized at the blockchain layer, elements of their infrastructure are centralized. The elephants in the room here are the node hosting services like Infura, which have a history of blocking users from certain regions to comply with regulations, usually sanctions. Thankfully, there are alternatives to services like Infura and the applications which leverage them, at least for Ethereum. Even so, I could see a scenario where regulators apply pressure to these centralized services to achieve compliance from the otherwise decentralized elements of the crypto industry. Now, the silver lining to this would be that it would force cryptocurrencies to decentralize from top to bottom, which is very important. Make no mistake, without top to bottom decentralization, there is no financial freedom. That's because if even just some of a cryptocurrency's infrastructure is centralized, it makes it possible for a third party to do things like block transactions.
All right, so I'm sad Lady Microdose left us. But if you're watching on Rumble, Lady Microdose was able to talk in the chat, and I guess you guys can all see that. I don't know if she subscribed to my channel so she could do that. I still only have 130 followers. But if you guys want to subscribe to the channel while you're there, there's 9 of you on Rumble, and none of you are chatting. So if you could subscribe to me and see if that works, for you, let me know. I want to go take this in the kitchen, and I'll be right back. I wouldn't mind making myself a cup of coffee. The kind of things that I watch from a year ago. Super pigs from invading. let me see here. 4 months ago. 21. 6 hours ago. Hardlands weaponizing e-girls for the military industrial complex. Okay, let's check this one out. And I'm gonna make some coffee, guys, which would be great. We'll have some fun.
Let's all that we can to build a
I'll be
better
right back.
future.
That's Kate
You know, when you go
Cabello.
on social media, you're given a whole bunch of lies.
Coolest name
Don't
podcaster of all
believe your
time.
eyes when you see
Kate
these oh so
Cabello.
fantastic influencers on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok and thinking, yes, I will do everything to follow you. Don't be a simp. Don't be a simp. Don't be a simpleton. Don't be a simpleton. Don't be a shimp. Don't be a shimp. Now, why am I saying this? Well, because apparently, hang on, this might trigger the Vote Blue No Matter Who crowd. Apparently, weaponizing the e-girls. Oh no! How the U.S. military uses YouTube and TikTok to improve its image. Amidst falling approval ratings and lack of recruits, the Pentagon has chosen a new tactic. A viral TikToks made by PSYOP agents. So in other words, careful. If she looks too pretty, she could be a Fed. She could be a Fed, man. She could be a Fed, man. You don't know. You just don't know. So what's going on? U.S. military personnel often share their everyday life on TikTok. Some joke around and play pranks on their companions. Others share what they do and eat in the army. Just like that one crazy video where there's a girl fantasizing about a war crime. Boy, very uncomfortable stuff. One of today's most popular military influencers is Haley Luan, also known as Lunchbag Luan. Luan is known for her provocative, somewhat cynical sense of humor, friendship with Donald Trump's son, and the fact that she is not a simple soldier, but a specialist in PSYOPs, psychological operations. The career platform for U.S. military recruits states that such soldiers are known for their communication expertise. Shaking your boobs doesn't make communication expertise or look a little fancy, but okay, alright. Using unconventional tactics to persuade and influence foreign allies and enemies in support of U.S. Army objectives. So again, Luan subscribers are aware of this. They assume that her account is part of a carefully designed marketing strategy. The influencer's goal is to help bolster the reputation of the U.S. military, particularly in the eyes of Zoomers. Or as the authors of Know Your Meme say, to get chimps and a dude to apply to every picture of boob with the OMG, dear me to enlist. Stop being thirsty. Put down that picture. Stop being thirsty. So in 2022, the military only managed to recruit about 45,000 servicemen out of the planned 60,000. As a result, Secretary of Army Christine Wormuth announced that members of the National Guard and Army Reserve may be called up for active service. Units could also be further reduced since it may be impossible to fully staff all existing detachments. Recruitment to the Air Force and Navy was more successful, but only because it involved candidates who were not able to start service in 2021. So yes, there you go. So that was all the simple things. So let's find out just how crazy it all is getting right now. So obviously, like they're talking about, high school dropouts are another problem affecting military service. In 2020, 3.2 million students graduated from high schools in the United States, but those without a diploma are not able to enlist. If the U.S. had twice as many healthy, educated young people, the armed forces would still face a shortage of volunteers because the population no longer holds the Army in high esteem. Yes, and of course, let's face it, the ridiculous war on terror, and how veterans are, well, self-deleting themselves, and how the VA doesn't do enough. So yeah, it's kind of understandable why that's happening. So here we go. I do like this. Apparently, some Army recruiter texted some young person. Good afternoon. My name is blank, and I am an Army recruiter out of the blank career center. I'm just reaching out to see if you have ever thought about or have any interest in learning more about the Army. I'm gonna keep it real with the United States military. I'm not effing dying for an oil company. So that's a good one. All right, whatever. So let's talk about this. Obviously, there's been films producing or shine a light and say, hey, enlist. You got Wings, 1927, the Green Berets. I actually watched that film. Yeah. Top Gun, Eagle Eye, Act of Valor, and 517 Paris. The Pentagon cooperates with Hollywood. Surprise. Are you surprised? Type 1 for yes. Type 2 for no. So there you go. So now let's talk about the Egros. So hold on. I want to make sure that we don't get any copyright material. Okay, hold on. I want to make sure we don't get hit with copyright material. All right. Hold on. All right. Gotta make sure don't play no copyright music. There you go. So yes, this is what's capturing the troops. There you go. What the play, stupid machine. Chapstick Tutorial Edition. Okay, there you go. Come on, you can serve in a Humvee ride with her too. There you go. Isn't that great? Yay! Enlist in.
Okay, how's Kit treating you guys?
Ah,
He's cool, right? You
it gets even worse.
You missed my beard and my long hair, guys? Did that feel comfortable for you? Oh, I don't have tea here, so I can't take these pills. I've got some probiotics that I like to take, man. I highly recommend them. Probiotics, man. So, hello, everybody. I hope that was interesting, whatever they were talking about, weaponizing e-girls for the military-industrial complex. I, of course, did not see it. Was I really gone for 6 minutes making coffee? I don't believe that. Was I gone for 6 minutes, guys? Holy moly. So, we're back over on the Rumble. I got the Rumble up here on screen. If right here, this is the chat. If you guys want to say something, feel free to say something. I wonder if it would be better if I went like, what is that? Never fear. Yeah, never fear. Right here. All right. And then I just crop it down to the chat like this. We'll go the right side all the way over like that. No, I mean, not that far. The right side over like that. The left side all the way over. Left side all the way over like that. That, the top down to about there, and the bottom we could do like, we don't need all that on there. Oh, we could even do this. If you get it like a 6x9 type size, it will give you a very nice clear image when you do this. So there's that, and then we're just gonna take this and move it down like that, right? What do you guys think? And now, we've got this opacity. We'll turn that opacity on. Just kind of fade that in, and then we'll turn the brightness up on the letters, right? So we can see through there, but you can still see the letters nice and bright, right? Is that pretty cool? And we'll make them a little bit bigger, like that, I think. And we don't need that to say live chat up there, right? We can get rid of that too. Let's get rid of that. Off the top there. We're just going to take some off the top there. Hey, you guys like that? That's pretty cool, right? Nice. You guys like that? I'm going to take some off the left there too. I don't like that. We got a little bit on the left there. Yeah, we don't need that. That's good. That's pretty sweet. Shave the bottom up a little bit, since we're not even using it. Hey man, look at that. That's really sporty. I love it. Look at this, man. That is nice looking. That's just nice looking. Very professional. Did you guys like the way I talked you through that? You guys, okay. I don't understand what's going on Rumble, if those are real people or not, so. You guys want to hear my right-wing take on guns? Rumble? Hey, Rumblers. You guys want to hear my right-wing take on guns? How many thumbs ups do I have? 0? How about I give myself one? Psh, I gave myself a thumbs up. There, maybe the rest of you could do it too on Rumble. So 10 people, how many people came through? 66 people came through my live stream on Rumble. Not one of them gave me a thumbs up. That seems kind of rude and thoughtless. But here I am, literally eating my dinner here so I can make content for people so they don't feel lonely or whatever. They got something to listen to. You'd be surprised, man. Just having somebody talking in the background for a lot of people helps. You know? You don't know. So you don't even want to give me a thumbs up for that? For me taking time out of my day 3 times a day to do the show? Come on, Rumblers. 66 of you and not one thumbs up. Well, now, of course, yeah, I have given myself a thumbs up, so there is one thumbs up. I'm going to let the cat outside, man. Because you know what? Who let the cat out? Nay did from Nay's Garden. Hey, you going to go out there? I recommend it. Go on. Here, we can leave this open. You're cool. You can stay there. As long as there's not any deer. He thinks he can go up to deer and talk to them, and the deer want to stomp him to death, you know? He doesn't understand. A deer looks at him as a predator, you know? Something that's dangerous to them. They have the ability to kill it. They will. So nobody in Rumble. 8 people. 1 thumbs up. Can you guys give me a thumbs up on Rumble, man? I don't mean to break your hearts or hurt your feelings, man. I don't want to squish pee-pees over there on Rumble. I thought the crumblers were supposed to be stronger than that. But you guys sound like a bunch of crumblers to me instead of rumblers. You sound like a bunch of crumblers instead of rumblers. Psh. So, you know, feel free to subscribe to the channel, guys. Follow the channel and leave a chat message like Lady Microdose did. I wonder what she microdoses. She microdosed my podcast, that's for sure. She only could stand a little bit of it. Dude, we've got a huge drop. We went way lower than a Head and Shoulders. The shoulder dropped way lower than the head, guys. So we blew that. But Ethereum kept the Head and Shoulder pattern, but Bitcoin blew it. So we dropped way under 27. We went down to 27,850, and we're at 27,931 right now. We're looking at Harmony at 1986. These are purchase points, guys. If you're looking to purchase some Harmony or some Ethereum, I wouldn't mind having some Ethereum, actually. You don't use Ethereum to make money with, man, but you can, but you usually use Ethereum for utility, for other stuff. It's good to have. But you can always swap something for Ethereum, you know. These guys, they went live 6 hours ago. They've got 11,745 people watching them on Rumble. Viva and Barnes. Trump indicted. Meme maker convicted. 11,740. That's what it says. Watching now. It says they went live 6 hours ago.
Very early stages, is already getting bipartisan support from the Senate and the nod from the Biden administration. It's it's not left versus right. It's the what do they call it? The uniparty state or the unistate party. It is political privilege, and they love it because it further empowers the government at the expense of the citizenry. Robert, what was the
well? Speaking of doing so, talking about technology and big tech and social media influence. The case that we had been covering before anyone else, people kind of woke up to it late. The Douglas Mackey case, the so-called Ricky Vaughn meme case, we covered it from the time the indictment was issued. I think we covered it about half dozen times, but I was glad people finally started picking up on the significance of this case, including Darren Beatty, Jack Posobiec, and others over the past week or two. Douglas Mackey went to trial in the Eastern District of New York. He basically posted a meme. The allegation was that the meme was intended to induce people to think they could vote by text or vote in some manner other than by ballot. There was no evidence to my knowledge that this actually tricked or deceived anyone into not voting. It's deeply problematic to consider memes now criminal behavior outside the protection of the First Amendment. But they got the
really?
jury
Aren't
pool
you
they
guys
wanted
always
in the
complaining
Eastern
about the
District of New
elections are
York and
fake? The
Brooklyn and
elections are
Queens,
fake?
a place where you cannot get an impartial
funny.
jury if you're a Trump supporter.
So they finally
Even though
do
Mackey
something
himself
about
has
somebody
no
trying
ties
to
or
do
connection to
something,
the
and they're
district
like, First
whatsoever.
Amendment. Wait, man,
And
you
all
can't have
efforts
it both
to
ways.
try to transfer the case, to dismiss the case, were denied. The jury was hung. The judge kept hammering the jury until the jury came back with a verdict called an Allen charge. And the people holding out for acquittals finally capitulated and folded. And he was convicted and now faces many years, up to 10 years in federal prison for posting a meme. That was called election interference, according to the Biden administration, who bragged afterwards about how that now they could do similar charges against similarly situated people without regard to the First Amendment. And it's
I'm
an
enjoying the chat.
ongoing war on
Their
free
chat's
speech, an
hilarious.
ongoing war on the First Amendment, ongoing war using big tech and against those who would employ social media platforms for free speech or dissident speech purposes. So it was a disturbing verdict. He has robust issues on appeal, not just the First Amendment challenge of the misapplication of this criminal law meant to deal with the Klan, by the way, not deal with meme makers.
Stop you there. Explain that, because I understood that this law historically, as we've discussed prior, was intended to prevent the KKK from intimidating black voters to not vote. What's the history of the law, and what was the rationale of the law?
So after the Civil War, the Ku Klux Klan organized in the South to try to suppress and repress black voting participation, not only black voter participation, other poor whites as well, by the way. That part is kind of dismissed. It's not a coincidence that in 1900, when the state of Mississippi's population had doubled, its total number of voters was fewer in the presidential election than 1860. Right? It wasn't because just there weren't a bunch of slaves voting in 1860. So it tells you how many poor and working class whites in Mississippi were being excluded from the voting booth as well. Because what happened in the post-Civil War era was there was a populist alignment between small farmers, small merchants, and poor working class whites and ex-slave voters against the orthodoxies that controlled the Deep South. And they used as their army, much as the left uses Antifa today, they used primarily the Democratic Party, used the Ku Klux Klan to suppress, censor, corrupt the votes portrayed in the Free State of Jones in the film of Matt McConaughey about a true story in Mississippi.
These guys have
basically massive voter
13,500
suppression
viewers.
of all kinds took place in order.
And I can't figure out why. I mean, their chat's going crazy, and I'm reading the chat, and it's like really weird, man. That was really weird. They got 11,000, 12, 13,000 people watching that show right now. And the chat wasn't going really fast, but it wasn't really making much sense either. I rated a live stream and something incredible happened.
It is a stand, kinda. It's their version of a plaque. Oh, okay, so I gotta get my numbers up to get one of those. He just gave her
The
$500!
Valentine Collection.
Yo,
Yes,
epic.
the
This is
first
a fucking
of
fire.
fraud.
This is like...
Edgar Allan Poe was
There's no
killed
other...
by
Oh, shit,
a
my bad. Hold on,
fraud.
I got you.
He was drugged and made to change clothes over and over. Then he died from an overdose eventually.
There's no other. There's no. Am I woke? Nah, I'm the exact opposite. There's no other.
Am I woke? No, I'm the exact opposite, said the African American. And you guys, that's the problem right there. He has no idea that the term woke literally came from African Americans. They have turned him against his own word. That's the problem right there, man. I wonder how many viewers that guy has.
The Ballantine Collection.
Wow.
You're the exact opposite.
Wow. Wow. I don't want to hear anything else yet. This is just fucking going through Rumble and looking at what Rumble has to offer, and it's nothing but straight up human garbage. So, wow, I'm not even curious. It's like, wow. I guess I have to be human garbage on Rumble for people to like me. Sorry, guys, I got too much class for that. I'm too classy for Rumble. I mean, I was listening to those two guys talk, and I was like, I don't know, man. Kind of confused. I didn't get the attraction. The audience had 13,000 people wanted to hear those two guys talk, and I was like, are they going to roll something up and smoke it here in a second, or what? Is just these two guys going to talk and just freaking? The one guy's going to ask him a question about a law and the KKK, and talking about a meme. Somebody in a meme got arrested because, or something about a meme got taken down or whatever because it was telling people to go that they could write and email vote or something. Am I supposed to be covering that? Okay, this is me covering that. Okay, so I heard from those two guys that somebody did a meme, right? And the meme told people to do something that was bullshit because it was a meme. And they're doing a whole fucking segment on a fucking meme now. Okay, there you go. I'm done. Now, I'm going to smoke some cannabis with you, and that is literally going to be better content than what those two guys are talking about in front of 13,000 viewers. And I've got 13. They've got 13,000, and I've got 13. I'm going to smoke some cannabis with you guys. I should start challenging podcasters to push up contests. Wouldn't that be funny? Like, yeah, super chat those guys. Like, hey man, I'm a podcaster. I've got 13 viewers right now. I want to challenge you both to a push-up contest right now. Hey, somebody. If you lose, you have to send all 13,000 of your viewers to my show because I'm way cooler than you guys are. That's hilarious. I love it. All right. Girly mans. Look at the two girly men over here with the Girly Man podcast and the 13,000 girly man viewers, but 13,000 of them. But 13,000.
The Ballantine Collection.
That's something, bro.
Good idea. When they chortle at you, you can call them a chicken shit. Ha 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 ha.
Right? I just said the numbers, man. 13,000. Let's go back to their 13,000. 16,000. Oh my God.
Even though he was not a former prime minister, never a leading candidate to be prime minister, or to be president in Russia. And yet,
You guys, they have
we
16,000
condemned and
people
issued
watching.
sanctions against Russia for that, and now we're doing far worse. So the first question constitutionally is, what are the limits? That will be tested in this case. Should the case be stayed pending a potential the resolution of the election, and if until someone is outside the White House. The problem is this: if a local prosecutor can remove their leading party opponent for the presidency through the exercise of their criminal power, prosecutorial power, then this opens the door to ways that it effectively prevents meaningful elections. It effectively prevents someone from exercising presidential power if duly elected, because the indictment cannot constitutionally remove Trump's name from the ballot. And if he's elected, it can't remove him from the Electoral College. It can't remove that Electoral College from being its vote being certified in Congress, which is even more so now because of democratic reforms that they have passed that make it even harder to bring such contests. And then the question is, can a state just lock up the President of the United States, the elected president? It has always been assumed that the answer is no, but this case will now test that. And so that will be one of the big issues. They will likely bring motions to stay the proceedings if they're smart. I do not have confidence in Trump's current criminal defense team. I do not understand why he doesn't have Alan Dershowitz be the lead lawyer on his team.
Alan Dershowitz is
I had
a moron.
An hour-long discussion
okay,
with Alan
that
Dershowitz
guy's an
on the
idiot.
Alex Jones show
Now
on
we know that
Friday
guy's an
about this
idiot
case.
because he
People
thinks
can find
Alan
it.
Dershowitz is a good lawyer.
Of course. And it was a good, productive conversation.
Could you imagine if that was
It's clear
17,000
Dershowitz
people watching me
understands
right
all
now,
the
guys?
issues here. Dershowitz is one of the very few lawyers
Well, look
in
at those
America
numbers.
who has won criminal jury acquittals, has won criminal appellate reversals.
All right, here we go, guys. No law regarding cannabis. Thank you for all 8 of you that are watching the show. Thanks to all 8 of you. While they have, while these morons that like Alan Dershowitz and Donald Trump have 17,000 people watching. I've got 8. So thanks to all 8 of you.
So why you have sort of a guy who
this is
Trump's
a
own
crazy
team is
amount of
leaking
throttling
as
going
kind
on
of
to
a
subvert
loudmouth
me this bad,
who's
man.
been
Cheers.
on Democratic media over and over again, who suggested, by the way, that this somehow was a crime years ago when he was yipping away as a mouthpiece for liberal Democratic media. Why Trump has this idiot as his lead lawyer is beyond me. So Trump needs to improve the quality of his defense team quickly. His own members of his entourage are leaking this like a sieve to the press because they know Trump reads media. It's the easiest way to reach him sometimes is through the front pages of a newspaper. He could improve in that regard, too, not have that be the main means to reach him. But he has a lawyer representing Kimberly Guilfoyle and A-Rod and other people. I've seen nothing from the guy that suggests he's the lawyer for this case and seen plenty that he's not. But one of the things that should be brought is a motion to stay all proceedings on constitutional grounds because he's a former president and the leading opponent in the campaign, and that the case should be stayed until the election for presidency is resolved. And if he is elected, that it should be stayed until he's out of the presidency. There's still a problem, which is if state prosecutors can weaponize their prosecutorial offices to threaten imprisonment for presidents, then or leading presidential candidates, then they can effectively control presidential policy through the extortionate risk present in that. And that's a major problem. The question is whether the courts of New York are capable of stepping up to the table and answering this question, or the Supreme Court of the United States, which is going to have to get involved in this case.
The question is
now, people are asking,
why do you give such a fuck about Donald Trump?
Either charged with? They said the indictment could include up to 30 charges. They've announced the indictment, and as far as I know, we have not seen the actual indictment and the charges brought.
We have not.
Look at the chat. They love Trump.
The fact of the indictment was leaked. The knowledge that he would be arrested or processed on Tuesday was released, but the CNN claimed there were 34 business fraud charges.
Fly on that fucking
the assumption is that these all relate to the Stormy
Express
Daniels matter in some way, but it's possible that they reached out to other areas. Based on who they were inquiring with the grand jury, that would come as a surprise because it appeared that Professor Turley, Jonathan Turley's approach, another liberal Democrat very critical of these proceedings, has said that that he thinks they've just multiplied the same thing and just tagged on 34 charges to the classic case of over-prosecution. But it did mislead people. I mean, there are people who thought he's being charged with serious business fraud, and that may be the media narrative objective with the structure of the indictment is to
Dude,
avoid
they're
the
getting
fact that it
first
appears
billing.
really just to be a
These
story.
guys are getting
Payments
first
back
billing
in the case.
all over Rumble right now.
Now, the
Their
first
podcast
the
is
next
listed
question
as.
will be the arrest.
I'm gonna link mine in there.
Will Trump be processed? Will they put Trump in jail? Will they try to perp walk Trump? Will they try to publicize the proceedings with video or photography? There apparently is already concern in the New York Police Department that they see this case as openly and overtly political, that they don't see a factual basis for it, that they see it as an abuse of prosecutorial power, an abuse of their offices. So they will likely want these proceedings to go the way that they did for my client, Amy Cooper, the so-called misidentified, in my view, Central Park Karen.
Wow, dude just tipped them $100.
They negotiated so that there was no perp walk of any kind. There was no visit to a jail of any kind. The processing took place outside.
He goes and meets them live. He just gave them $100.
There was no risk to her
Super
well-being
chat.
by putting her anywhere near a jail. And the processing took place, and she ultimately only appeared by video, never in person in court ever.
Dude,
so we're going to find
do you know
out
how many $100 donations they've already got?
Prosecutors and the courts are going to do this in a manner that's respectful of the president's position, or whether they're going to continue to use this as show theater.
They got $1,000,
right out of the gate.
guys.
Are they going to abuse their arrest power for politicized
They got
purposes?
$1,000 in
Now, the
$100
Secret Service
donations.
defends the president. They will help negotiate this
Oh my
because they have already made
God.
clear it would be a risk to his safety
These Trump
to do
supporters.
anything other than how they recommend the processing work. Again,
If I
there's
just
no
go on
training
Rumble
on
and
this for the
prepare
Secret
and pre-
Service because it's
If I
never
just go on
happened
Rumble and
before.
pretend to be a Trump supporter,
In
will you
fact,
guys
no
give
one's
me
even
money too,
seriously
Rumble?
Considered it before, not even
You
in
know,
the case of Nixon.
I'd just like to say,
Nixon was only pardoned on
if
federal
you try my
charges.
wine,
He
I
could
make
have
some
been
of the
charged on
finest
state
wine you'll
charges.
ever have.
Nobody
Also,
thought of, hey, let's go ahead and prosecute
my steaks are some of the
anyway.
greatest
That would
steaks
seem
you'll ever have as well.
insane and
I'll
dangerous to the
educate you and
country
teach you how to be
and
extremely
constitutional
wealthy
duties.
because I'm very
But
wealthy
that'll be the first part.
and a
The next part
billionaire.
will
I've
be,
got
will bail
billions,
power be
billions of
misused by the
dollars,
judge?
and I know
This
China.
judge is a political
They're very
hack
good over there in
who has
China with
already
the money.
expressed
And
continuous
we're gonna do
bias,
good things with
not only in
China. We're
favor
gonna
of
do
the
good things with Russia.
prosecutor's office in
We're gonna
general,
we're gonna stop
but
the
a former
war.
prosecutor
So
and
we're gonna
lifelong
make America
government
great
lawyer
again.
himself. But
So I need to work on my
a very
Donald Trump.
anti-Trump
I need to work
bias.
on my. I need to
As
work on my
Professor
Donald Trump
Dershowitz
again.
noted that
And you remember how I
every
need to get
judge
my red
in New
hat.
York knows that the political power is on the Democratic.
People are
anti-Trump
literally
side of
coming
the aisle
over
in
from their
90
podcast.
Manhattan and
Well, there's
90+%
17,000 of them.
voting
I dropped a
area,
link in the
and it is
chat.
highly
I just
unlikely
want
you
to
can
say
get
thank
an
you guys for
impartial judge
joining
or impartial
my
judge.
podcast.
This particular
I have a
judge
very
has already
small
expressed
following
bias
over here on
against
Rumble.
Trump in
Just
multiple
130
proceedings.
followers.
In fact,
Feel
it
free to
appears
follow me
me
and leave comments
his
and give me a
assignment
thumbs
does
up,
not appear
guys.
random.
We smoke
So already
cannabis.
the New York judiciary
That's what's
is
up.
failing its test
That's
of
what's up.
impartiality. The process is supposed to ensure a randomly assigned judge.
We
This
talk
may
about
have been manipulated
right-wing
by the prosecutor.
stuff.
They did this in the Roger
Like,
Stone case.
we talk about
So
your
what
freedom
they
of
do is they
speech
say that a
and
case
your
is a
right to
related
possess
case,
firearms
to
on
get
this
a
show.
particular judge that
That's
they
what I
want.
talk
This
about.
is how Roger Stone got assigned to the same judge who had already, Amy Berman Jackson, who had already.
And I'm
expressed
also on YouTube
bias
if you
and
want to leave me
prejudice
a
against
comment.
Paul Manafort was the
If you
feds
can't leave me a comment
manipulated to get her assigned
on Rumble
the
for
Roger
whatever
Stone
reason.
case.
Come over to
And
YouTube
so
at Naysguard and you can
know,
leave me a
will
comment
the-
over there.
Will bail somehow be denied?
I'm also on Twitch
Will
and
the
Twitter,
court issue
Naysguard,
some
Naysguard,
ridiculous
everywhere,
bail order?
Naysguard.
Will the court try to jail Trump?
That's
Will
what's
the
up.
court try to restrain his travel? Will the court
Or-
try to
or-
restrain...
Or his social media content, like they did with the Canadian prisoners. They can't post to social media. Nothing to.
Well, they already did it to
Can't-
Trump.
who knows?
They've
Oh,
already
sorry.
done that to Trump.
Go on,
Yeah,
Rob.
exactly. So there's constitutional
They've already done it to
restraints
Trump.
on bail.
They've taken him
The
off
8th
Twitter and
Amendment
put him
to the
back
United
on.
States Constitution is enforceable through the 14th Amendment against the states, and the states have their own comparable constitutional requirements of bail. New York, of course,
Dude,
notoriously
the
now
right
has
wing is
liberal bail
getting
rules
way. I wonder
that is
how
supposed to
many
promote
people in this
early release
chat
and
are
quick
able
release,
to
not
vote.
detention. They're letting
They,
murder.
I
accused
cannot believe how
murderers
much
and
support the
accused
right
rapists
wing
out on a
has,
regular
guys, on the
basis.
internet. It's
Accuse
psychotic.
stalkers out on a regular basis. It
So,
would be
you know,
an
we're also
egregious
affiliated with
abuse
Alex Jones
and
here.
unconstitutional
Remember, super male
abuse of
vitality.
power if this judge tries to weaponize
Only scored half a
bail
line of ultra potent
to
super male
either,
vitality in the morning because it
prevent
is
the
so
president's
ultra potent.
travel, to try to lock the president up, to try to require a massive cash bail, to try to seize funds and assets of the president, to try to limit his travel, to try to limit his social media access. or as is being popularly discussed in
Remember this also.
gag order, which
My
would be prior
iodine
restraint
samples
in
are the
violation of
finest,
First
purest
Amendment.
iodine you will ever
Generally
find
speaking,
anywhere,
gag orders
any
in
online
criminal
store.
context are
You're going to come to
unconstitutional, whether it's
prisonplanet.com,
applied to the lawyer or applied to the
Infowars.com.
defendant.
Come into
You
our
have- it
online
has to be
store.
very narrowly
Check out
tailored
what
and
we
they
have to
show
offer. Our
compelling
water
public
filtration.
interest. So,
The
for
finest
example,
water
you
filtration
can
you're going to
sometimes
find
on the
anywhere.
eve of a
I
jury
am
trial
renovating my
restrain
house
what someone can
all
say
day.
that
The
won't come
water
into
filtration
evidence at the
coming
trial.
out of those faucets
That's
is
a very
unbelievably
limited-
pure. It is of the
limited scope
finest,
in which
utmost
courts have,
purity
higher courts have
that our
allowed
Infowars,
gag orders.
prisonplanet.com
Otherwise, they're just
water
flat out
filtration
unconstitutional.
will give you
So
the
if this
purest
judge attempts to
purification
do that,
water
it'll show again
filtration
this judge's
in the
incapacity
nation.
to be impartial.
And I didn't even mean to
So the
rhyme.
political
I'm
prejudice
just
and,
that buzzed off of
persecutorial
my
tendencies of
second
this
ultra potent
prosecution
line of
being
ultra potent
requested
superhero
to
vitality
gag order.
because
It'll
it
be
is
a
so
First
ultra
Amendment
potent.
violation. I'm sure the president will take it up on appeal immediately, all the way up to the Supreme Court of the United States.
Don't make me
And
break
it's a
out
case
my
Supreme Court
Billy
doesn't like
Mays
to take.
here with
Because if by
OxyClean
merely,
and the
charging
power
someone,
oxygen.
you can,
Hi
prevent your
everybody,
political opponent
Billy
from
Mays
campaigning,
here, and I'm pissed off
then that
today
would be a
because
serious
I got a stain,
The
and this
president's already
stain
announced he's gonna
it won't
speak
go
on
away.
Tuesday night
It's
at
pain,
Mar-a-Lago
but you
after
know
the,
what?
event,
I got
so
the
he
power of
anticipates,
oxygen,
clear release.
like I'm flying on a
there may be
plane,
efforts to try to
snorting
restrict what he can say in
cocaine.
those
That's
proceedings
right.
about the
I'm
prosecutor,
Billy
about the
Mays,
judge, or
and I'm
about
going to
the
show
state.
you
That
power of
too
oxygen
would be
right
a First
now.
Amendment violation. So the judge can try a gag order. It can be temporarily enforceable, but it's not constitutionally enforceable, and I anticipate it would be set aside if the judge does it. Now, after that, you go ahead.
I was just going to ask, state charges. So even if Trump ever becomes president, he couldn't pardon himself for these charges at any point.
That's correct. That's part of the constitutional problem with these. It's one of the issues. If any local prosecutor can remove a political opponent with just prosecuting him, indicting them, then do we have a federal system of governance anymore? We really don't. I mean, it's something the court has sat on the sidelines with because of the politics of the Nixon case. They I think mishandled the Nixon case. They really didn't deal with what are the flow-through consequences of this. Same with the Clinton versus Jones case. They really didn't go through, okay, what's exactly the consequences of allowing a civil suit to proceed against a president? And there's problems there that they never fully addressed or answered. This case poses those problems in clear relief. And depending on how egregious the abuse of power is by the New York courts, will detail how much these issues get meaningfully addressed. Now, as Alan Dershowitz noted, probably the other than a motion to stay, which would probably be maybe the second motion brought, the first motion that should be brought, aside from making sure there's no gag order, no unconstitutional restrictions or restraints on bail, is a motion to transfer venue. It's a case, now there they should do detailed polling, which it won't be hard for the polling to prove. You can even find a liberal Democratic pollster, a Stanley Greenberg type, to do it. Will show without question that Manhattan is a place that is
$28,000
contaminated
Bitcoin.
with so much Trump hatred.
$28,000
Bitcoin to get an impartial verdict.
$28,000 Bitcoin.
And move the
Boom.
case right within New York.
Shakalaka.
One or two places. You could move it
Down there in the
upstate,
corner, folks.
By the way, which is what's happened in many police shooting cases.
No law regarding cannabis.
Famously
If
in
you're
the
on
41
Rumble and you're
shots
watching, thank you for coming
Or
in and
just
smoking
move it over to
along.
Staten Island, where the area is split.
I hope you guys like
And
to
where you
smoke
can
cannabis
actually
as much
get
as I
a,
do.
It's
It's 420 in Newfoundland right now.
That should be the
You
first
just
motion
learned
brought,
something.
and that's
Cheers,
a motion
everybody.
that under select circumstances
Thank you for
can
coming into
appeal,
my show.
and at a minimum preserve your future rights, that its denial would set aside any adverse verdict. Then you have motions to dismiss. The motions to dismiss could first be brought on statutory grounds, namely the statute of limitations prohibits the charge. They're going to try to argue, based on bad New York law, that being outside of the state tolls the statute of limitations. That makes no sense. The statute of limitations is there and only supposed to be told when the prosecution can't indict. There's no question they could indict. Right? They didn't need the presence of the president, and they could have always secured the president's presence of him throughout that entire
I wonder if Jerry
time frame.
Garcia is
They knew
going to
where he
ask him
was.
another question.
He was in the White House. So it wasn't like it was hidden where he was. Frequently in New York, by the way, during that time frame. Didn't change residency until a couple of years into his presidency. So but there's motion to dismiss for statute of limitations. Secondly, a motion to dismiss on constitutional grounds. that if the statute can be so broadly interpreted that it could reach this conduct that deprives the president of fair notice, and the rule of lenity requires that due process of law dismiss the indictment as being void for vagueness, as being overly broad, as failing to put anyone on fair notice. Michael Tracy and others on the left have noted, if suddenly
Jerry Garcia
any
should ask another
non-disclosure
question, though. I put that in the
payment
chat.
is now hush money, and hush money is now a crime if not disclosed as such on government documents. As Dershowitz noted, no non-disclosure agreement is its underlying confidential information is disclosed on corporate documents. This makes every non-disclosure agreement's actual legal enforcement by a business or individual a crime in the state of New York.
It basically turns settlement agreements potentially into crimes. Settlement agreements are, we want no one to know about it. It's a resolution of a dispute amicably.
Dude,
and
this girl
you can't
named
talk about it.
Miss Microdot or something, Miss
Peaceful resolution of
Microdose.
disputes. It's
She
beautiful.
left a chat before, and
Then
now
I think
it's
there's
gone.
additional grounds to dismiss.
The chat's not there anymore.
If
Isn't
the
that
statute of
weird?
limitations can be interpreted in this vague way, that it's a violation of the Constitution. If a state has the power to derail a political opponent in this manner for the presidency of the United States, then I believe it violates the separation of powers that is established between the federal and state governments under the Constitution. No motion to stay would achieve the same objective. And there may be additional motions to dismiss based on probable perjury before the grand jury, probable misinterpretation of the law to the grand jury. Both of those is
Why
grand jury
do
conduct that
I
is enforceable through
suddenly
dismissal.
have
They
the
can preserve the
urge
right to claim that exculpatory
to
evidence
listen
not presented
to
is such?
some
Right now, the Supreme Court has said that's
Grateful
not a violation of
Dead?
the grand jury clause. But that's that was over a very controversial split decision that should be preserved by challenging it and contesting it here. Then you have motions for discovery that can take place as to what really took place throughout the proceedings. Was the grand jury an impartial grand jury? What was presented to the grand jury? What
This
other
is
evidence
me in the chat,
exists that
guys.
exculpates again?
You should
internal
try it
memorandum will
sometime.
probably show that the New
You
York
should try to chat
Prosecutor's Office
sometimes, yeah.
previously determined this was not a legitimate prosecution, that there was not a factual or legal basis to do so. Motions to dismiss on selective prosecution grounds in violation of the First and 14th Amendment. Easy to show here because the prosecutor, first of all, publicly stated he was going to indict Trump as part of his election platform. Secondly, other prosecutors refused to prosecute both the New York DA's office and the Southern District of New York on grounds that it would be selective prosecution. Third, there's no analogous case that has ever been brought in the history of New York on these factual grounds. No historical example of it being brought against a political opponent on these grounds. No historical example of it being brought against a former president on these grounds. If this isn't selective prosecution, I don't know what is. He and his wife and the other prosecutors involved have stated on social media their intention to basically do a Berea-style prosecution. Show me the man and I'll find you the crime. If this case doesn't violate selective prosecution, then no case violates selective prosecution. The courts have gone wayward in enforcing that. This case presents a perfect opportunity for them to re-examine that law and meaningfully enforce the First Amendment rights against selective prosecution.
Someone just
In
called
terms of the
Dershowitz
timing
out
of
in the
case,
chat for being a
obviously this
Zionist
would be a very
Jew.
important jury
Oh
selection
boy!
case in terms of
There we go.
written jury select,
Boom!
written questionnaires, meaningful inquiries into areas of
19,000
prejudice and
people
bias.
feeding
Trump
into
needs
it.
to have
Oh
the best
my
jury preparation, jury trial team, jury selection team available to him, and not gamble on that side of the aisle if he is stuck with a jury trial in Manhattan.
Oh my God!
But in terms of the timing of the case, Dershowitz agreed with me that it is unlikely to be tried
Dude, this
before
chat is amazing.
until we're right in the middle of the elections.
Oh
And
my
if the court
God.
is conscientious, it will postpone any trial until after the election. But we'll find out very quickly whether this court is conscientious or just another political hack on the court. And so it will be, this is an extraordinary case presenting extraordinary risk, but it will present also extraordinary opportunity for the American people to be educated on the deep problems in our criminal justice process that will be exposed once again by this wayward rogue prosecution of the president, who President Trump is constitutionally innocent, legally innocent, and factually innocent. He's constitutionally innocent because this is selective
20,000
prosecution,
people
violation of
watching their
constitutional principles in a law that's being over-applied and the statute of limitations that's not being applied, to which he had a fair notice right to be enforced. Second, he's legally innocent because what they're going to describe is not a crime. Because if settlement agreements are
This
a crime,
guy
then
talks
everybody
a
belongs in
lot.
prison that's ever done one.
How
If
are his
non-disclosure
vocal cords
agreements are a
able to
crime,
do this?
90% of businessmen and celebrities now belong in federal prison. If funding your own campaign is a crime, then that violates the First Amendment by itself. And then he's factually innocent because
Does
the
he
only
drink
witness
anything?
that we
I
know
mean,
of testifying
geez
against
Louise.
him is an admitted perjurer, an admitted fraudster, who's now being sued by Alan Dershowitz for defaming and libeling him just 2 days ago. So this is a disbarred, discredited, disreputable lawyer who has a long history of fraud, corruption, and deception.
These are some
whose own
pretty
public
mild
statements by his own
right-wingers in
public
here.
counsel who he released to make
Actually,
these statements directly
19,000,
contradicts the sworn
20,000
testimony
mild
apparently now before the
right-wingers.
grand jury. And this is the only witness they have to testify as to the substantive
Mild.
merits of the
Like-
case against Trump.
like
So Trump is
center
constitutionally
right.
innocent, legally innocent, factually
Close
innocent.
progressive
it is a
right.
dangerous, perilous case that has crossed the Rubicon of American constitutional law. But it's
Trump
an opportunity for more American people to be educated about the problems in our criminal justice process. For Americans to rally to Trump support and the defense of the Constitution.
What if anyone's down
And
with the
hopefully, in
DeSantis
the end,
fascism?
there will. My prediction: Donald Trump won't serve a single day in jail for this utter nonsense. But a lot of deep state, complicit, corrupt actors that are responsible for this will suffer.
I just said in the
political and
chat, we
I
got our
believe also
guns in
legal
Florida.
consequences down the
Yay.
road.
Well, you put out the meme. First of all, I think they're going to try to get their perp walk, their shame photo, because that's what the frothing at the mouth crowd wants. You put out a tweet that likened it to Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I mean,
he was
they've tried to put people in jail before. At the Riverboat Ramble we have on April 22nd, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Still has tickets available. The link to it is available at vivabarneslaw.locals.com. I'll be giving a hush-hush about a very similar case that took place back home in Chattanooga, Tennessee in 1967, actually. And I'll be detailing in that hush-hush what happened in that case. Let's just say it didn't quite go the way everybody in power thought it would. So, and I just reminded folks that, there's, Donald Trump's mugshot is going to join some famous mugshots, including that of Martin Luther King Jr. So all those people that think a mugshot ends somebody's political campaign need to double check through American history.
No one said a mugshot
The only
would.
reason I'm reluctant about the juju that comparison puts out in the universe because of the way it ended for Martin Luther King Jr. But you're 100% right. They're going to do it. They don't understand that the impact it's going to have. But Robert, my concern here.
No one said a
this New York
mugshot would
State,
end Trump, bro. Please, I just put that in the chat.
An optimistic, aggressive prosecutor or DA.
Dean Winchester in the chat just goes
Georgia
Jew.
grand jury to say, well, if they did it in New York, we can do it. It's not such a big deal anymore. In D.C. for insurrection, but voter interference or whatever they want to call it in Georgia.
Now,
this
Mr.
is just,
Footbig says jujubes are really good.
Precursor justifications, so other not rogue but activist grand
Some
juries
veiled
can convict or
freaking
indict
anti-Semitism in there
on other charges and other
Thinly
states.
veiled
Look at all of these. We're going to
anti-Semitism.
get lucky on one of these. But I mean, I see it just going down as now serving as the basis. They've got the ball rolling, and they're just going to use this as the pretext for further indictments.
Trump's
the
a bully.
Issue is,
Trump
I think they resurrected this case
is
because they
a
had
bully
weakness in those other
who
cases. So Mar-a-Lago case was
deserves
falling
to
apart because of
be
Joe Biden's problems.
bullied
They're trying to resurrect
back.
it now as recast it as an
Trump
obstruction
is
of
a
justice
bully
case
who
rather than a
deserves to be
classified
bullied
documents
back.
case. I don't think that will have as much success as they want.
I don't care what side he's
the
on. He's
same
a
with
bully.
the January
There's one
6th
on the
cases,
left
they
that's a
couldn't get
bully.
anybody to
Fuck
flip
him.
the
He
point
deserves
the
to be
finger at
bullied
Trump and
back.
make things
Anybody.
up
I
that
don't give a
didn't happen
fuck.
or didn't exist.
Bully
And in
deserves to be
Georgia,
bullied
they
back.
not only have
That's
a
what we
nutty
do to a bully.
grand jury person that was so nutty, Anderson
That's what
Cooper
we
called her a
do
nut.
to bullies. We bully
But
them
they
back.
are in the state of Georgia, which has a Republican
Yeah, he's
governor.
being bullied by the system that he's
in each
been
of those
bullying
jurisdictions,
with
they
his
have
I
issues
love
either
debt.
with the facts
I love
or
not
with the
paying
law
back
or
my
both.
contractors.
And even though D.C., they could possibly bring certain cases where they also have a corrupt
Who has
grand
Trump
jury pool
bullied?
and a corrupt jury pool
Primus
that's
fan
political,
92 is
politically
talking to me.
weaponized.
I'm so
That would
happy.
be Biden administration overtly trying to indict their leading political opponent. And I suspect they would rather
bullied
avoid that I think that's why this New York case got resurrected. They saw it as a way to indict Trump without directly implicating the Biden administration, without getting tied down in Georgia, where the politics might not align as well as New York does with their interests. They have conservatives on Georgia courts, unlike New York. So they have conservatives, not many, but still some on the D.C. Court of Appeals,
reporters,
which presents issues. So I think they chose New York because they had more political control of the courts, more political control.
This guy's actually wanting to ask me
political
questions
control
here.
Of the jurors and the grand juries.
Primus fan 92.
And they had a prosecution
right on.
one step removed from
He's
the
bullied
Biden
people.
administration.
Do you guys think in the chat? Let me know. Do you think Donald Trump has bullied people? Is he a bully? Is Donald Trump a bully?
They bring charges in other cases in other places.
He bullied girls.
Would not have brought this New York case if the New York prosecutor thought someone else was going to bring charges. There's risk of a cascading effect of a piling.
All right, I heard you.
But that will look like exactly what it is, and then it will directly implicate the Biden administration. And then what happens?
Maze Garden Primus fan just called me a retard upside down and backwards.
Says constitutionally you can't do this. All of a sudden now the New York courts are brought under great pressure. They want New York courts to have a monopoly on this case.
His answer to me was to call me a retard. That's how quick I own somebody in their chat.
Or any other jury pool. Or
there you go, guys. I
got
to go let my dog out.
Okay, this is it. Now, I'm making a prediction that disagrees with your assessment right here, although I will defer to your better judgment. I still think they are trying to create the cascading effect. And, hey, if they get Trump on the classified documents, it'll be an indirect victory anyhow. They get to then take out Joe Biden for 2024 and get to replace him with Gavin Newsom. They say, look, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We're a party of justice. We went after Trump. Now we're going to go after Joe Biden because we want to get him out for 2024, and we need to give him a way to get out. And I had one other reason why I thought they were going to do this. I forget the third one. But I think that's what's going to happen, even though I appreciate what you're saying, but I'll make a different prediction. Robert, do we have any more on Trump?
We'll see. They run political risk with all those other cases that they can avoid if they keep this one in New York. But I think they felt pressure to bring the case in New York. I think there's people who believe the only way they could get DeSantis to run is by indicting Trump and convincing DeSantis that Trump was going to be effectively neutered in 2024. We're already seeing from the public opinion polling that this is backfiring in the court of public opinion. So at least in the court of public opinion, there's been a rallying effect to Trump. He now has a massive lead, according to every meaningful poll. In the polls in the Republican primary, his lead over Biden has increased rather than decreased in the general election. And almost half of Democrats think that this is a bad prosecution. And over 70% of independent voters say that this is about politics, not about law, that oppose the prosecution. This is just a major overreach by sort of deep state connected and deep state allied actors and the Democratic Party to try to take out their leading political opponent that will go down in shame in American legal history and be used against America globally moving forward. We will never be able to criticize another government for doing what we just did.
That I think is the best point of this all is it like what Justin Trudeau did in Canada. It's not an accident that when our leaders here lose the moral authority to govern, lose the moral authority to lecture other dictators feel empowered to do what they want to do, and then to thump their nose and say, who the hell are you to lecture me, Trudeau, Biden, and you guys live in a banana republic there as well. Robert, I want to bring up a bunch of super Rumble rants because I saw one from Chris Pavlovsky himself, and it's an important message that we should read. Let me get to a few of these, because there is a new thing here, people. When you, if you give a chat of a certain amount, I forget what the amount is, you automatically become a monthly supporter. Also, Chris Rumble, $50 Rumble rant, the purple one. It says, Rumble now supports creator subscription badges, where 100% of the money goes to the creator for 2023. It's a great move what Chris is doing here, because it is better for the creator, because 100% of the revenue goes to the creator, only for 2023. But it's going to be great for Rumble in 2024 because it's going to bring people in. But also, as you see here, Jay Ash 62 has now become a monthly supporter through a Rumble rant. Dapper Dave 2021 says the House could attempt to charge Bragg with election interference, but we all know Garland is going to do nothing about it. We're going to get to Bragg on another, arguably questionable prosecution or indictment charges. Primus Fan 92, where did Dershowitz support mandatory vaccinations? Oh, why did Dershowitz? He was wrong.
Oh,
he was
just
wrong.
watch the debate. Watch the debate with me on Viva's show over a year and a half ago, and you can get what his position was.
Yeah, and he was wrong, and I think he implicitly admitted he was wrong in the debate with Barnes, but he said something that was a little hyperbolic on another interview. Kansas67, why is Biden's phone call to Ukrainian DA blackmailing him with billions of people? Why did exactly? He did exactly what they accused Trump of. Oh, no. Kenzie, you're mistaken. He was threatening to remove the prosecutor because he wasn't fighting corruption, not to prevent him from fighting corruption. P. Moyer question, why in the world doesn't a Republican state DA threaten or actually indict Biden? It would be the Mar-a-Lago situation all over again, would it not? Arkansas crime attorney, who is Little Rock from YouTube, $100 Rumble says, since I started this new position, I have not been able to watch live. I finally got time tonight, and so glad I did. Great to see you guys. When is the next live meet? I have to make it to the next one. Chattanooga, April 22nd. It's going to be amazing. A riverboat, and I'm playing the harmonica on it. MK Telephonema. Okay. Just like the Harry Reid nuclear option, this may bite the Dems again, and they are only for immediate gratification, never repercussions. Dapper Dave question for Barnes. The running joke is that the New York will transfer venue on any case they want to politically prosecute. What happens when there is competing jurisdictions, or can New York do whatever they want?
So, I mean, you can transfer it within New York, not outside of New York, but you can transfer it within New York, and you have a right to do so in a range of cases, and the facts here strongly support transferring the case out of Manhattan.
Cup of Sooth says, thanks to Alvin Bragg, it's now legal to pay a sex worker to put something in her mouth, but not to keep something out of it. Not bad. And four more. Hamilton, Christina Wong's 2016 tweet. That was what I was looking for. Thank you. Christina Wong had a tweet. It was identical. Mutatis mutandis. Telling Republicans to text vote or vote on Super Wednesday is still up. I'm going to go get that. Can everyone screen grab that before it gets taken down? And then JAsh62, who is now a monthly supporter. Viva, can you and Barnes do a sidebar with Governor Rod Blagojevich of Illinois, who was wrongly accused? I would love to. I need to refresh my memory as to Blagojevich's conviction and pardon. And we got the ch in Chayarichik is not pronounced the same as chom. Okay, thanks. And then we got to Deltaros. As a disabled person myself, I can honestly say disabled people placed in the military. Deltaros, I'll disagree with that. There are functions for people who have various levels of capabilities, and there are plenty of positions that need to be filled and that don't have to be filled with able-bodied people. So I disagree with that in theory, in principle. But thank you for the support. All right, Robert, I don't know if it's on the menu, but while we're on the subject of corrupt, Soros-funded Alvin Bragg district attorney. He's made another massive gaffe with this incident. I don't know if you heard about it. A parking attendant or someone working in a parking lot spots a criminal going from door to door of these cars, looking in these cars. He confronts him and asks him what's in his bag because he thinks he's been stealing. The guy pulls out a gun, shoots the parking lot worker in the somewhere not fatal. The guy wrestles the gun from the man who just shot him. Oh, it grazed his ear too. The guy wrestles the gun from the man who just shot him, shoots him in the chest, and apparently DA Alvin Bragg is pressing charges of attempted murder against the guy who was fired upon by the criminal. Robert, I mean, make it make sense. Was the guy running away and he's no longer a risk and the guy's angry and says, now I'm going to kill you, ha ha ha, and shoots him? Like, I don't know if you know any more details about the story than that.
No, I mean, and this is the same prosecutor who's let actual murderers and rapists and stalkers walk. So it's an ongoing attempt that if you use self-defense, that's the one time that this prosecutor will indict you. Otherwise, he only indicts his political opponents. And by the way, Soros did put $1 million behind his campaign. It was done indirectly through money to a PAC, and turned around and endorsed Alvin Bragg and then supported him. But there's no dispute. Soros has bragged about supporting Bragg. So there's no illusion about that, despite what the media may lie to you about him. So this is definitely a deep state coordinated hit. And this is what George Soros style prosecutions look like. Real criminals walk. Innocent people get prosecuted for either self-defense or being his political opponent. And it is deeply, deeply disturbing to witness what is taking place in live time in New York. Now, DeSantis finally came around to saying what I said he should say from the get-go. Politically blew the opportunity at the inception to say he would not use extradition laws to extradite Trump to New York. He waited until the indictment came down, and there was a lot of political blowback on his prior kind of non-statement. And now says, well, yes, in fact, we will not use our extradition powers to send Trump to New York. It's not necessarily in Trump's interest, however, to benefit from that. If Trump were to try to do so, then, one, he couldn't travel the country to campaign. Two, it could be used against him for denial of bail. Three, they can still go through the federal courts process and probably get federal judicial process to extradite Trump anyway. The point we are making about DeSantis exercising this power is establishing the policy precedent, and it's simply being good politics, precisely because it likely would have no consequences of any significance. Some of DeSantis's people are now saying that Trump should take DeSantis up on it and challenge that whole process. That's not in Trump's interest, legal interest, to do so. But I'm glad DeSantis finally made the point that, yes, indeed, what I said from the get-go was correct. Some people said I was making it up. He does have the constitutional authority to object to any use of Florida extradition laws when there's been extraordinary constitutional violations in the process of prosecution. There's federal law that can challenge that, full faith and credit clause and extradition clauses, etc., that make it difficult to win that in court, but at least try it. And I'm glad he at least laid out some basis to do so, but it is unlikely it will ever be utilized or enforced.
Well, you were right on that, and you were also right, or other people were wrong on that Trump was lying about the indictment.
I know.
As a fundraising thing, but we don't need to pick on them for that. I want to pick on Nancy Pelosi for her wildly, overtly, openly shameless communist take on all of this, literal communist take.
Communist?
The grand jury. I thought it was a fake tweet when I first saw it. I did the screen grab, so I know it's real.
What's communist?
The grand jury has acted upon the facts and the law. No one is above the law except for Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. But forget that. And everyone has the right to a trial to prove innocence. Robert, you have a right to a trial to prove your innocence. That is
fucked up.
Literally
you're
guilty until
you're
proven
innocent.
It's literally what I've been listening to in Michael Malice's book, The White Pill.
She worded that improperly.
Fascist regimes throughout history.
And he's being a little bitch.
Have just paraded their guilty around. And you can never prove innocence where there's a presumption of
So
guilt.
I want to go outside and clean up, man. I want to work on my yard and stuff.
May that be emblazoned.
I want to welcome all the new
portrait
people that are
at the
joining
White
over
House.
on Rumble.
You'll have your trial to prove your innocence.
This was really interesting.
Comrade.
And I think this is what we'll do from now on is we'll pull up people on Rumble and I'll comment on them and I'll join their chats and I'll let people know that I'm live over there because it seems to be cool to let people know. Nobody seemed to mind. And some Rumblers came over. So I'll even subscribe to these guys. There you go. It's that easy to follow. That easy to follow a channel. I don't know why people won't follow mine. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll see you tonight after I go outside and work and do all the stuff I'm doing. There was just no participation from you guys in the chat in the last hour or so. So I just kind of got discouraged. I would love to hear more from you. Like their people do in their chat. But, you know, that's only 22,000 people watching, man. Holy shit. They got 22,000 viewers to listen to some right-wing spin, son. If I could just be like Stephen Colbert and pretend to be a right-winger, you know, and then I will only snort a half a line of super ultra potent super male vitality in the morning. I could just pretend to be this guy and just say, you know, it's all a hoax. It was all a hoax. The UFOs are real and everything else is a hoax. It's all false flags. Gulf of Tonkin. All right, don't get me started. Now, Gulf of Tonkin, and, you know, It is a global conspiracy from the globalists, the Clintonites, and what's happening with the child ring that the Democrats have been imposing on children around the globe with the globalist movement. I'll talk about that. Maybe I'll get some chatters in Rumble. I'm not getting any of you to chat, so I'm at Nays Garden on Twitter. Catch up with me there. Until next time. Love you guys. Bye.